Well, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Happy belated America's birthday to you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Happy 4th. Hope everybody had a good one.
I had a really good one. How were your guys' 4th of July's?
Yeah, I think we can start with Foster
there. Was started out great. Was great till about 10 o'clock that night. We had a little incident here at my park in the neighborhood. And man, somebody could have got hurt, but fortunately there wasn't too much damage done. A couple hurt prides, a little burn, a couple broken mirrors and some scratches, but it could have been a lot worse. So
were you worried it was going to turn into another event like the previous 4th of July?
I thought it was going to be very bad. It could have been a lot worse, man. It really could have. It was kind of scary.
Wow. That's
being in the middle. I was standing right in the middle of all this. So it was just it was unnerving, man. I actually got pushed and hurt my back. So, but nobody got hurt. Nobody's in the hospital dead. Could have been worse.
That's good. How did you hurt your back?
Being a dummy, standing in between the parties that were starting it, trying to get them both to just leave. And the one younger kid is like, "Fuck you, old man," and he just shoved me, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's the answer to everything, right?"
Right.
So my quick response is, "They called the cops. The cops are coming," which was the best thing I could have said because people started leaving. The troublemakers started scattering.
Is it like lower back, upper back, middle? What's the
dead
injury
across
to the back?
The middle, man? That one that goes from end to end across the middle. No matter where you move, it hurts. Everybody's had it. I think everybody I ask has had it.
Mm-hmm. I just had it a couple weeks ago.
I'll be fine.
Yeah. I see Mark was in the hospital for the 4th.
Man, that stinks, Mark.
Yeah.
Blood clots. Hope you're okay, man. He says he still has a bad cough.
Me too, Mark. I don't know. I hope if you're getting, I hate to say this because people are going to get mad at me, but if you're getting any of the COVID shots, don't do them. Don't do the updates or the boosters. There's been problems with. My brother did that and ended up with blood clots and almost died. It was all COVID-related stuff. So,
before we get too far, let's kick this stuff off.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you want to do
that? Too much babbling.
Yeah, you threw me all off on that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
One more question, Shorty.
In a 27-part diatribe of questions.
Yes.
Well, happy belated birthday to America. And Kitty, let's kick this shit off.
Bears country. Where is it?
You down with BCP?
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 Yeah, now PJ won't dance, but he was dancing the whole time in the background doing his shit.
Wait, how about this?
Oh man. Yeah, we gotta keep you out of the club, buddy. That was good, Foster. That was good.
That was a good one. That was a good one. No longer allowed in the club, Shorty. No longer allowed in the club, Shorty. That was that dancing.
That was pretty good.
Well, guys, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Cliff, Mark, Doug Van Dorn, Mr. Mayhem. Love you guys. You're what makes this goes around. Welcome to the vacation version of BCP for myself. So we're just, as you can see, I have an entirely different setup going on here. You can actually tell I have hair.
Man.
Can I have some of that? say.
I'm not even representing Bears tonight. There isn't even my Bears banner's not up yet. I don't have anything set up. It's been a fun week just being on vacation, and
Yes.
we were at our friend's house for the 4th, and they have a lake house that we were visiting. So we took our camper there and we just left it there, and then we came a few hours back down to my mother-in-law's place down here. So now we're down here for a couple of weeks. And I just got here. I have not had time to set anything up yet, but I got a little bit of a tan. I'm feeling pretty good. I sweat my ass off for the last 4 or 5 days like I was in a sauna every day down in the deep south. So usually that does good for you. Deep south. Like 4 hours, like 2 hours to the border of Florida, south. So
having fun.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I tell you what, muggy, hot, humid, but it's good for you. Good for you to sweat those toxins out. Did a lot of fishing. You know, the fishing is actually there was a full moon this past week, so that's a really good time to fish. So I was slinging bass at like 2 a.m. It was great.
Oh, bass? You was doing bass? Fishing bass? Okay, cool. What was the
Bass?
biggest?
Well, like a 1.5 pounder. Nothing that they were all about the same size.
Okay.
A few bluegill. I started catching baby bluegill just to use those as bait. It didn't work out.
Yeah. That seems like that rarely does. I've done that 100 times, and it seems like it rarely works out. Not kidding you.
Yeah.
Cliff's saying it's definitely hot in Florida the last few days, and you know, I felt like when I got here and got out of the car, I was like, it feels like it's actually cooler here than it was where we were in Georgia, but I might be wrong, because as soon as I started moving and unloading the truck, it was like downpour of sweat.
Yeah.
Like you're running in a sauna, you know?
Hey.
Yeah.
Clear up your lungs, though, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So how was your everyone in chat's 4th of July? I hope you guys had a good one. We had the neighbors that our friends did a really amazing 4th of July party with like a 5-minute finale. It was a great show. It was probably a 40-minute show.
Wow. Okay.
So we had a lot of fun with that. Did you guys see any fireworks?
I did.
You, Foster?
Right.
all kinds, but I mean tons, because if I'm at my house or this house, these two neighborhoods shoot off like 4th of July week. It goes for like 10 days, man, because these guys just, I don't know what kind of money they spend. We also got a White Sox pyrotechnic technician living in the neighborhood here.
Really?
And he blows the park up every year, and that's why there was 1,000 people in this park in Chicago the other night. And it's great shows, and usually it's fun and everything's fine. Things happen occasionally, that's all. But it was awesome. The fireworks were awesome.
My dogs are the type of dogs that if I do fireworks in my backyard, they want to go play with them.
Yeah.
They're not scared of them. They want to go eat the mortar when it's about to go off. You know. Doug Van Dorn says it's been hot in Illinois the last few days too. Sort of this big hot air mass over half the country. I've been hearing that too.
Yeah.
I saw something on Twitter about somebody saying people in Chicago need to stop complaining about the hot weather, and I said, yeah, you do. compared to where I just spent the last week, it was
pretty nice today, though.
It was oppressive. It was oppressively hot.
I mean, weather-wise, it was pretty nice today in Central Illinois. So yeah, I can't.
Your lows were in the 70s, right? Like,
yeah,
60s,
it's like right
70s?
now. I think it's 76. So I don't think it was like probably low 80s today. So that's pretty decent for me.
Yeah.
It's probably 88 degrees here right now.
3 to 5 degrees warmer than UP at the most. Like right now, we are 73 degrees at O'Hare Airport, which is for 8/15, man, in July. I'll take it every day, man.
That's what I say. You can't complain, man.
Nope.
Certain things you gotta roll with it.
Humidity
What's up, King Pookie Nate?
What it is, man.
What is up, King Pookie? Thanks for joining us, my man.
Man,
I saw King Pookie in Mexico, and he went and got one of those the grandma shakes, man. He was afraid he was going to die. Some shit. It was hilarious. Check him out on YouTube. He's got some funny stuff always.
He says he's back from his trip. So
Yep.
He's back from his trip.
glad you had a fun, safe trip. Retro, what's up, Retro?
Yeah.
Fix my. I gotta fix my toupee. Hold on.
Yeah, me too.
Hot, don't he? He just comes in hot. He does. He just jumps right on in like, man.
I mean, it was so like literally last second for me to get set up here to even come on and start the show with you guys that my wife's like, do you want a hat? I'm like, no, I'm sweating too much. I can't put a hat on my head right now. I'm not wearing a hat. I forgot my Bears shirt in my camper at my friend's house, and so it's I'll get my Bears symbol up behind me this week, and the next show I'll have the mic. I'll be back to my note. You won't see my toupee, Retro.
How long are you gonna be down there?
I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Cool, man. That's what's up.
Got to kind of come down and make sure everything's okay, take care of things, and then go back to life. And
enjoy your house when you can, man. That's it. Enjoy your time, all of you guys in the chat and everywhere. Enjoy yourselves when you can, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just truly too short.
Yes.
That's very true. That is very true.
Man.
So, Bears safeties, guys.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to talk about. Kind of been holding off talking about safeties because I really, truly, Jaquan Brisker,
stud. Oh
he led our team in sacks last year, guys.
He's a baller.
And that interception after Mac Jones kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah.
It was just 3 plays later, picks him off one-handed, like right there, buddy.
Poetic justice.
I think he's going to be an all-pro, dude. I'd say Pro Bowler, but it just doesn't mean what it used to, you know?
Yeah. Rookie of the year.
When I say all-pro, you guys know what I mean. I don't care if it's first or second team. He's going to be on that list somewhere soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Even before they changed the Pro Bowl, it kind of was just you ended up with all these 3rd and 4th and 5th. I mean, Mitch Trubisky was in the damn Pro Bowl.
Just watched it go downhill over the decades, PJ, you know.
The real quarterbacks didn't want to play in that Pro Bowl. Trubisky was the sit-in for it.
Well, you know, with
these
the
guys
Pro
used
Bowl,
to kill to get in the Pro Bowl in the 70s. Sorry, go ahead, Pete.
I mean, with the Pro Bowl, you know, they really don't play. I mean, you know, they just do a few things, and it's like not really playing football. And that's the time you really get hurt, when you try and not to get hurt.
Yeah.
So, that wouldn't be a good idea at all. So, I don't get it. I don't know what the solution is, because I don't like that. You know, I would like to see them be able to do some type of competition thing. I just don't know what, because that's flag football game. I thought it could have been interesting, but it seemed like they made it too much of a gimmick. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you want me to try to watch this flag football, let's try to be serious about it. And it was too much of a gimmick, and I'm like, So, they have to do something. I don't know what. I don't know what the answer is.
Mark Kazak says exactly, and Trubisky sucks. I remember being all excited when Trubisky was in the Pro Bowl. I'm like, I know he didn't really earn it, but I'm happy we finally had another quarterback in the Pro Bowl. And I was really excited to see what he had to do in there. And talking about what we were just talking about that game, you would think he would have looked good. He looked fucking terrible in that game. He was awful. We couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
When you go, when they halfway play it, he still looks bad, huh?
Yeah. I just kept waiting for him to do something good. I'm like, come on, kid.
Yeah.
Nope. Couldn't complete the ball. It's just...
If a deer being stuck in the headlights were a person, Mitch Trubisky.
I think he seemed like he was overwhelmed with being in that situation, because he probably felt like
his whole career
didn't belong there. Yeah,
his whole career seemed like it was like just too big for him. It's like
we heard that term a lot, PJ. I heard that a lot on the telecast, man. They said it a lot over the couple 2-3 years there. He just looks like he's a deer with his headlights stuck in the eyes. I probably heard that 10 times in 2 seasons, man.
Yeah,
from the broadcasters of the game.
Yeah,
seemed like
So, I mean, and they're sitting, they're watching it with the monitors and they're seeing it. And I'm seeing the same thing they're seeing. So, I was still just never big on him. Even when he made the Pro Bowl, I didn't. Here, that double doink day, I just looked at my brother and said the window closed because that was the only thing we had was winning that year. I said it to him. He didn't even know what I meant. He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm going, forget it. Just forget it.
I felt the same way.
Yeah.
It was like we had very minimal injuries that year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We had the season started off with Mac on fire, even though we lost that game to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
We still had a great season. We could have been 13-3 if we would have won that game. And I don't know. It was just that double doink.
But it was built on a poor foundation.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the whole offense was like filled with gimmicks. It's like Matt Nagy was on a chalkboard somewhere devising up these plays that, I bet you this would be neat if I can do this play. So he designs up this play, never practices it, probably walks through it one time in practice, never actually practice it. So sometimes they work in, most of the times they didn't. Mm-hmm. And the league caught up with him real quick. And it's like, that's not how you play football. And he was showing that. I think him being under Andy Reid like probably took some of his ideas and go, okay, I'll go with that, but I'll tweak it a little bit. But to have no one to give him any checks and balances, he was a madman with his play designs.
Yeah.
So, I was like,
Mark Kazak says, don't get me started on Trubisky. Terrible pick. We could have had Patrick bleeping Mahomes. But I would like to know, come on. No, really? I keep saying this. If I did that draft over again 100 times, I wouldn't take Mahomes at 3. Not knowing the same thing at the time. Nobody thought he was a third pick in the draft. If the Bears just stayed 3.
Well, obviously nobody knew he was a third pick at the draft. He didn't go till what, number 12? 10? When did he go?
It was 10.
Well, I didn't even have us taking Mahomes either. I was hoping we'd trade back and get Mr. Troublemaker, who's in Cleveland now. Whatever.
Yeah. But again, if we did that, it would have stained the organization so dramatically that it would have.
That's why there's no such thing as coincidences, man. Coincidences are incidences in which a higher power is involved. That's my.
I just think. I mean, unfortunately, my guy in that draft was Kaiser, and he really didn't do anything. So I can't talk too bad about Trubisky, but. I thought Kaiser just had the physical makeup.
I did too.
Coming from a college that actually played some good competition in Notre Dame, I figured, okay, he should be able to be all right. Sitting behind Cutler or who was it, Hoyer. That was my thought. I was like, maybe he can sit behind these guys and learn a little something. But reason why I didn't like Patrick Mahomes, I thought he was too much like Jay Cutler in the fact that a gunslinger. I'm like, we already got a gunslinger. So if he sits behind Cutler, he'll be another gunslinger. So that may not work out. That's what my thinking was, not knowing that they was going to ship or get rid of Jay Cutler that off season anyway. So that's why I wasn't on Mahomes.
I thought I'd be happy to pick Mahomes up in the second or third round. That's why if I'll go to my grave saying it. The third pick, I would never in a redraft. I wouldn't take Mahomes with the third pick. In
a redraft, you still wouldn't?
I mean, not
today.
In the redrafts under this, knowing what we know now, yes.
Okay.
But under the circumstances, I probably would have drafted Watson, which wouldn't have been the right thing to do. So, in either way, I would have gotten it wrong as a fan myself. So I can't shit on the Bears for. I mean, I can shit on them for trading up one pick to get in.
Now that we can do. We can do.
But that was just a joke. I had us trading way back. I traded everything out of the first round, got a bunch of guys, and picked up Davis Mills, who was supposed to be on the bench behind Cutler or some Hoyer or somebody for 2 or 3 seasons. That was my thought. But I mean,
Now that's the part I didn't understand. It was the fact that with Hoyer, for whatever reason, we didn't re-sign him. I think they said we couldn't because we offered him $1 minimum contract the first year that he was here. Therefore, we couldn't re-sign him until he went through something. I was like, Hoyer to me would have been a better bridge quarterback than the neck. What's his name?
The neck.
Yeah. What is his name? Glenn. Is it Glenn?
Glennon.
Glennon. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, so because Hoyer actually had some success here.
Right.
He actually did pretty decently. That's why I'm
Right.
like, okay, you bring in a little rookie behind him and let him be the little bridge, and we can go from there. But yeah, Glenn,
Hoyer had a bit of success everywhere he went. That's why he's been able to travel and be plugged in, because the guy's got all the abilities, but has never put it all together. But if you look, Minnesota, I can't remember. He's been like 5-6 places, man. He had some success everywhere he's played, just not full-time permanent. That's the problem.
I like what Retro says here. If anyone thinks Mahomes would be the Mahomes we know with the Bears is not realistic. Kaiser would have had a better career with the Bears, maybe. I mean, I agree with you. I think about that too. If the Bears would have drafted Mahomes, would he have done anything with the Bears? Is he a transcendent talent that he's just in the perfect team, the perfect fit, and everything's just working out for him? And he had that jump start because of that. So now his confidence is built. He has all the rest of the tools to do it correctly, right? If you're going in an organization that's been, forever struggling to find a quarterback and don't even know what to do with one when they have one, is he the pick? Would he have done the same thing?
What was you going to say, Foster?
One word. Doesn't matter who's the quarterback. Nagy. One word.
But let me interject here. I mean,
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
Because here's the thing. Nagy helped Mahomes.
I gotta mute myself. Hold on.
Nagy helped Mahomes in Kansas City, but I think what really helped out Mahomes in Kansas City was being behind Alex Smith, a true professional quarterback. That's what really helped him.
Yes.
So to agree with Retro, if Mahomes would have came here, I don't know, because it was John Fox. Yeah, it was John Fox at the time. So I don't know. Well, John Fox was big on no turnovers. So maybe he would have tamed Mahomes a little bit with his erratic throws.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how much development he would have gave him.
Right.
So but that's what I'm saying, because we had Cutler, Fox really couldn't tame him so well because he still was erratic. Dowell Loggins is the offensive coordinator, I think.
Dowell Loggins, God, I was trying to forget about that guy. Thank you.
But I mean, the point I'm trying to make is he did well with Hoyer. He did well with McCown. But he just couldn't really do it with Cutler. So I'm wondering, what would he have done with Mahomes? I'm wondering. I don't have an answer. I just wonder.
And like you're saying, him sitting behind Glennon, what's he going to learn?
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue. Is like behind Glennon, no. So my idea would have been to either keep McCown or Hoyer to play in front of him, and they wasn't able to keep either one of those. So I think personally, I thought that Pace went after Glennon to give the disguise that he was good on quarterback. So that's why I think he did it, which he then shot himself in the foot by trading up from the 3 to number 2 anyway. So I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, no quarterback has been taken. And yeah, so that whole situation just, But to Cliff's point, Andy Reid is a genius coach.
Right.
I give him credit. I give him 100% credit.
And like what Walter's saying here, KC went 10-6 in Mahomes' first season, and he started one game. Cleanup. They were already in the playoffs, so he already had the better tools off the rip. He could have gotten better. He wouldn't have gotten that in Chicago. And no, I agree. No.
I think we would have threw him in the fire like we did with Trubisky after the fourth game. We threw him in there, and the original plan was to sit him the whole year. But Glennon was so horrible, they had to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's terrible.
So, yeah.
Best part, I mean, man, I'm just getting depressed. It's like almost when I was drinking.
I think
Let's talk about.
I'm glad it's just passed. Done.
Me too. I'm glad
Now
we have
we're
Justin
in
Fields.
the new era of Chicago Bears, and we get a real team back with a real GM and a real president. The stuff we haven't seen this century.
But see, that's the whole key right there, though. I think going to the right system is so underrated because, when we first started this podcast, one of the things I told you, I feel confident in what's his name? Eberflus. The fact that he's a coach. And I'm like, okay, he seems like a real coach, got some fundamental values here that you can build upon to build a winning team. Same way with Poles, whereas with the other previous coach, it's like they don't have a good foundation. So any player will tell you, going to the right system matters. And to
100%.
To the point again, Mahomes coming here wouldn't have been the right system for him.
Right.
I think if you would have came here now, being with the structure we have now, yes. But the structure we had back then, yeah, it would have been a bad fit.
Well, to your point, you're seeing Eberflus working with Justin to teach him defense, what to look for. I mean, that's what a coach does.
Exactly.
If you're a defensive-minded coach, and that's been your job, that got you the head coaching job, and you have an elite quarterback like Justin Fields, who's you better get this right.
Exactly.
The thing to do is to bring him into the defensive room and go over things with him. Make sure that you're explaining to him what this is and what to look for with this, what to look for with that. Yeah,
and then
it might hurt your defense in practice, but it's going to help your defense too.
Right, but you also rep it. And that's the one thing when I heard that they actually didn't rep some of the plays that they were given. They were like, install a play, and they just walked through it. They never repped it. And it's like, you're supposed to rep these plays to work out the kinks because every play isn't the same. I mean, you may run it one way, I may run it another way. So until we rep it, we can't work out those fine-tune those kinks. And that's when I heard that, I was like, oh, this guy's truly not a football coach. And to steal Phil Latoshin's slang, saying he's a shoe salesman.
Yeah,
he was a shoe salesman. I'm like, this guy right here, man, he's horrible. But that's why I'm feel so good about this regime. It's like what I can see football IQ. You know, you have that football stance there. It's like, okay, we playing football. We may be short on talent, but at least they're playing football. And it's not like let's throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yes. And they're finding the pieces to fill the spots with. You know, with Brisker and Gordon last year, or Gordon and Brisker going back-to-back picks. Then this year, defensive line, back-to-back picks.
Yes. I think to that point, Brisker, I really think he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I believe he's going to be a Hall of Famer too.
If he keeps on this trajectory, I think he would really be a Hall of Famer because I like him. I like him a lot. I'm like, that guy's a player. He is a player.
The kid has got football smarts, football instincts. What does Greg Gabriel say? He's practically coined it. He doesn't have football character.
Yes.
So I shouldn't say he doesn't, but when Greg Gabriel says when he says this person doesn't have football character,
right?
He's talking about the players that we've seen come and go, whereas a lot of the players that they drafted last year, if not all of them, and the year before in this Poles regime have football character, high football character. Brisker is one of those guys.
Yes, I agree.
Brisker has high football character. He knows where to be. He's instinctively an excellent football player. And the fact that Mac Jones kicks him in the nuts, and 3 plays later he picks him off with one hand. Not only that, but with 4 fingers of one hand.
Yes. Good payback.
That was absolutely brilliant. And as a Bears fan, that was so much fun to watch because, first off, fuck Mac Jones.
Agreed.
One-hit wonder, Mac Jones.
Man, yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, that play. I'm a big sportsmanship sort of guy. Even if you lose, show some sportsmanship. I mean, let's not do cheap shots and these other things. And when I seen him do that, and then on another play, he tried to trip Brisker then too. So I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
Right.
So yeah, that turns me off watching a player who want to do these little cheap shots. But Brisker, man, I'm telling you,
Brisker stud.
Yeah, he is truly one of my favorite defensive players right now. I mean,
absolutely.
Yes.
So I couldn't wait to talk about him.
Yes. It's like I'm really liking it. And the thing is, I didn't really hear much about him before the draft. But once we got him, and I started looking at him, I'm like, man,
yeah,
this guy is a player.
Mm-hmm.
He is really a player. I'm liking him, man.
Very excited.
Really liking him.
What's up, STC? Mo Bierman, thanks for joining us, guys. Walter, too. We never said hi to you. What's up, Walter? I think Walter was going to come on the show tonight. There was just so much going on in my life that I just kind of never got around to it. So I apologize to you for that, Walter.
Well, to address Mo Bierman's point here, me saying about Brisker being a Hall of Famer, I'll say this. If he stays with that trajectory that he's going, I'm not trying to put him in the Hall of Fame right now. I'm just saying if he stays on that trajectory, he should have a Hall of Fame type career because I'm liking what I'm seeing, and it's pretty impressive for me.
Well, he led the team in sacks.
Yeah.
Go figure. He was making plays. He was getting better and better as the season got on. Wore on, and he looked. Did he miss any games? I think he missed a game with an injury, right? 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. But I'm 99% sure he missed a game.
And not to mention what he did to kind of help rejuvenate Eddie Jackson's career. I know the defensive. The defense that Eberflus runs is kind of better for him anyway.
Right.
That probably is helping him. But when he has a kid like that, I mean, even he himself has said it.
But you know what the other thing is with that being said is the fact that we had no pressure coming from our front four.
Right.
So for Brisker as well as Jackson to make any type plays was impressive because the plays will increase once we have that front four that can generate that pressure and causes the quarterback to rush his throws. We're going to see even more turnovers and more things happening with that secondary. So, yes, Eddie Jackson's career, again, upward trajectory from what it was the last couple of years. I mean, he had that great 2018 season, but after that, he kind of went in this lull. And last year, you saw, Eddie Jackson looked like he's back. And we're saying that even without the pressure. Wait till we get the pressure. Hopefully this year, we'll really see an increase with Eddie Jackson. Are you muted? I think you're muted there, Short.
No, yeah. I hope we get the pressure. Well, I think we're gonna be better off than people think right off the bat, man. Yeah. I do.
I'm just saying that Mo was reminding us he had a concussion. Sorry, Foster.
Oh, okay.
Who had a concussion? I'm sorry.
Oh, remember we had the one game where we had
Brisker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had no starting cornerbacks, and I don't even think Brisker played that game. Remember that game, Blackwell? That's when we saw who some of these guys were because we didn't have anybody left. They were hurt.
Blackwell, Jalen Jones was playing.
Yeah.
We even saw some of Hicks.
Was that against Minnesota?
What's his name? Our ace that we don't have anymore played 3 games there. What? Come on. Special teams. We didn't bring him back yet. He's still out there.
DHC.
Yep, DHC. He was leading that defense, that backfield for a couple games there, man.
That was against Minnesota.
Yep.
And they did a pretty decent job against Justin Jefferson.
I like what I saw in Blackwell.
Yeah.
That's another name we haven't talked too much about.
That's true. Is he still on the team?
He's a nickel. Yeah, I think he's a nickel. He's a backup nickel.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he's the backup nickel.
Retro has a trivia question for us here. A head coach who just died and ended the playoff win drought of the oldest pro team. He became the head coach after the great Buddy Ryan of the Bears lore. Who was it? A head coach who just passed away and ended the playoff win drought of the oldest pro team. He became the head coach after the great Buddy Ryan.
Oldest pro team would be the Cardinals.
Right.
Because they've been around there first. So who's I'm trying to think, because I just went, man, who are you talking about? I just said, who are you talking about? Dick Vermeil? But
right, he became the head coach after the great Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan coached for Philly.
Right. That's why I said Dick Vermeil.
Yeah. Buddy Ryan, the Bears. I don't know, man. What's the answer, Retro?
Who just died on all those shows, man, yesterday or something?
Yeah, I'm sure the barroom has who just died. It's probably on there.
Yep, that's what I was looking at. I'm even going to their subs to see if it's on there.
There was a King Pookie asked the question earlier. Do they still have public tickets for Bears practice? No.
Oh, yeah.
I just looked that up today.
They all sold out?
They're gone?
Well, they're not sold out. They're given away. They gave away all of them.
Basically, yeah. See, that's the thing. That's one of the things I hated about them going to Hallis Hall, because like in Bourbonnais, you could just, until that last couple of years, you could just come up there, going in. Then they start that ticket thing, and it's a pain. It's a pain.
Retro is saying it's Vince Tobin.
Oh wow! Okay.
Well, that's
right. He was our defensive coordinator after Buddy Ryan.
That was on yesterday. Somebody big just died. Vince Tobin with Mike North and Aldo Gandia.
Yeah. He was our defensive coordinator after Buddy, and I remember we tried to hire him.
Oh God!
We announced hiring him before we actually hired him, and he walked away from it. And I had a lot of respect for him for that one.
Me too.
I was like, you know what? Good for you. Good.
He had worked for the Bears for so long.
Yes.
But also having the knowledge of kind of how the Bears worked then, right? Yeah. And then he was just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm not doing this. Like, you guys were already starting off on the wrong foot. We're not doing this.
Right.
Can't blame him, man. I mean, it was a good move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think about Hicks, though?
I mean, I loved the draft pick.
Right. He was a sixth rounder, am I right? Or seventh rounder?
Something like that. Fifth or sixth rounder?
I know he's sixth or seventh. I think. I know. I was kind of suspect on him, but I think in that Minnesota game again, I think he showed up with like 10 tackles, something like that. So he had a decent showing when he got a chance to actually play.
Yes.
So
I remember seeing him making plays in the games that he played in at the end. Yeah. And that's all you can ask for from a pick that low. I mean, you're usually looking to fill your special teams with the end of the draft like that. And if you get starters out of it, not that he was a starter. I mean, I think he might have started a game or two there.
Yeah.
At the end when it was meaningless.
By necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He started, and like I said, against that Minnesota, I think he had like 10 tackles that game, and he actually did pretty decently.
Mm-hmm. Retro has another question. Bigger question is, how does a team go 50+ years without a playoff win? They play for Detroit.
Yeah, it's Don Burr.
Now Detroit has some talent come through there. They had some talent come through there. Yeah.
I was on a show earlier. Sorry, I was on a show earlier, and they were talking about the Lions, and I said exactly what Sam used to say. Lions. I said the Lions always going to lion since 1957, and Cornelius Squalls goes, dude, I'm going to use that line. I said, please do, and make sure that Don Burr sees it.
I'm telling you. I mean, they have had some talent, and I'm like, yeah. I don't
Herman
know why
Moore,
they're
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
remember Billy Sims?
Billy Sims was
Billy White Shoe
Bernie
Sims,
Sanders
you're darn right.
1.0.
Man. So it's like, God, I mean, they have had some talent come through there. Remember
running on people's shoulder pads and helmets? I don't know if you guys remember the play.
who?
Billy Sims standing on a guy's shoulder, running and standing on the next guy's helmet.
Man.
He literally
Like using
ran up
as
these
a-
guys and almost over him, man.
Yeah.
It's out there. I remember it as a kid watching that going, man, I wish this guy was on the Bears with Walter. We'd kill it. We could run over anybody.
You remember
So-
Walter Brother playing for the Detroit Lions?
Absolutely. Eddie
Eddie.
paid for Kansas City too, man. He had some good games with both of them too.
He had a punt return for a touchdown in a
punt
Thanksgiving game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Against us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah.
Punt returner, kick returner, backup running back, and he was also a decent pass catcher, if you remember, and he could throw some blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So it runs in that family. Maybe
Yeah,
not
they-
all the
they-
way, but
As I said, they had some talent come through there. And,
yeah.
and that's why I go back to what a previous statement I said. I mean, they have some talent. I just don't know if Dan Campbell's the coach to get it out of them, because to me, he doesn't instill enough discipline in them to be able to get over that hurdle to win a playoff game. Me personally, I could be proven wrong, but that's where I'm at with what I'm thinking on them.
Wait, say that again?
This year's going to show for Detroit. Go ahead.
So you're saying Campbell doesn't have?
He don't instill enough discipline in his
Mm.
players in order for them to win a playoff game, in my opinion. I think they'll be one of those teams, kind of remind me of the Oakland Raiders back in the day, where they was just too wild, but somehow they was able to harness theirs and get a victory. Whereas I don't know if Campbell can harness it and get them to get a victory.
I could say that just because I'm not sitting there every day. I don't know what he's doing on the field. So, how do you make that judgment, dude? I just can't.
I'm making that judgment based upon how I see him interact with them.
Gotcha.
And it's more like I'm your buddy as opposed to I'm your coach.
Yeah, that can
And
be
that to
dangerous.
me fosters an added or environment where I'm not going to be able to be disciplined enough to handle not getting this penalty at a crucial time.
Gotcha.
Well, I would say that would be viable for short-term success, but not long-term success, right?
Yeah, I that's what I said.
You might be
When
able to get
some
them to bite
pressure-
kneecaps off and run through a wall for you for a couple of years, but when the shit starts to hit the fan later on, and you're going through adversity, how's that going to test you?
You get that pressure, what you're going to do, because
Right.
you haven't been taught how to handle pressure, because you haven't been taught that discipline to deal with it. You're just going to just act out and get a penalty at the wrong time, not be able to be disciplined enough to not get the penalty. I mean, not to go off sides. I mean, that's just, again, my opinion. I mean, he can prove me wrong, but that's just my thought about him. When I look at him, I'm like, he seems like a fun guy to hang out with, but can he really lead us? I don't know.
I'm right there with you. It's random trivia time.
Whoa.
And I don't have any random trivia questions, so we're going with chat is full of random trivia questions tonight. So
Okay,
we're going with you
let's
guys.
Let's get it.
SGC, what stadium held the first indoor NFL playoff game?
That's a good question.
I know the answer, guys.
So do I.
I'll go last.
I'm going with Superdome.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Dan,
Superdome? It's Chicago Stadium.
Chicago Stadium.
Yeah.
Chicago Stadium had the
Yes.
first indoor playoff game?
Yeah,
Where's the Chicago Stadium at?
it's torn down.
It's
Oh, okay.
it's the United Center now.
It's the original Madhouse on Madison, man.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
remember they had everything there. The Bulls, Hawks played there. Ice Capades. We used to go see everything there when I was a kid, man. Everything was at the stadium, dude.
Wow. Okay.
It was the Bears
It was
against
a playoff game against the Bears. The weather was freaking terrible, so they brought the game indoors right after the circus left, so it stunk. I've heard the stories, man. It was terrible.
right after the what left?
The
circus?
The circus, because they always come into town when the Hawks and Bears
Yeah.
Bulls go on the road. So the playoff game was in December, right after the circus left here, and the stadium was a mess, and they had to play this game indoors, man. And I can't remember if it was a 50-yard or a 60-yard or 70-yard. They had a short field in there. So it was a rough setup. Bears, pretty sure the Bears won that championship too. I don't remember for sure. But I think they won, and I want to say 42.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm mixing stuff up. So.
Stadium. When did that get torn down?
About 5 years after they built the United Center, man, because they started everything.
Now, was that where the Bulls used to play at?
Yes, Chicago Stadium.
Oh, okay.
The old Chicago Stadium.
That's why they call the United Center the house that Jordan built.
So they actually played football in there.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I never knew that.
One game. Many famous boxing matches were held there in the 30s, 40s. Joe Louis and all them guys fought there. Mm-hmm. It was a big time arena nationwide because they could have the stuff in Chicago and then just broadcast it all over the United States, into Canada, and into Mexico even. 30s and 40s. This is my father telling me all this stuff, and I remember it. So I'm not. It's not my first.
Sure it was. Sure it was.
When I was hanging out with Marconi, we figured out that we could invent a radio. Never
mind. STC says it was Detroit that we played. I thought it was Detroit.
Pretty sure it would have been the Spartans, and they were out of Ohio, maybe.
Yeah, not yet the Lions.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, he's got it right there. Portsmouth Spartans. Retro's got it right there.
Portsmouth.
STC Lions. Oh, go ahead, pull it up. So we don't hit it twice. You do it.
I'm sorry, I just saw it.
STC Lions. Lions originally were called the Portsmouth Spartans. Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay.
The Portsmouth Spartans. Yeah.
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth or Portsmouth?
Portsmouth. It's an old English city, man. They just brought it over here and reused the name.
Okay. So is Portsmouth, is that in Michigan?
I believe it is.
I believe it is, yeah. Because
they were another team in Ohio prior to that. I still could be mixing that up, man. But Portsmouth's in Ohio. I mean in Michigan.
Doug Van Dorn is just letting you know, PJ, that Michael Jordan's first three-peat. I know, I had to fuck with you on that one. Michael Jordan's first three-peat was in the Chicago Stadium. So the first.
I remember that because I think I actually went to the Chicago Stadium and watched one of his games, actually. I just didn't correlate the name to the Bears. That's what I was really lost on because I'm like, I remember hearing the Bears played at Wrigley Field, Soldier Field, but I didn't know they ever played at Chicago Stadium. But yes, I think I actually went to the Chicago Stadium and watched the Bulls play the Lakers because, again, I'm not a Bulls fan.
I know you're a Lakers fan. So how you doing, Foster?
I'm good, man. Those damn Lakers fans.
The guy's not even a fucking Michael Jordan fan. What?
And LA. So
what are we supposed to do with this guy?
Who's Michael Jordan? Was he on that TV show in the '60s? Michael Jordan's Navy.
I'm sure that's who. Who PJ thinks he was. Michael Jordan.
No, he's Phileas Julius Jones or something. James Earl Jones with the boys.
I'm telling you what, though, I am a Michael Jordan fan, though.
Well,
I am a Michael Jordan fan for obvious reasons. That
buys him 20 minutes only, Dan.
Huh?
That buys him 20 minutes of screen time only, Dan. for the Jordan. Let me go right back to the Lakers and you throw them out.
Get out of here.
I like it.
Yeah, I told you he gets 20 minutes.
See, I like Jordan when he was at North Carolina. I was going for that team there when they played against Georgetown for the championship in '82, I think it was. I was a Jordan fan then. He was a freshman because I was Jimmy Black. He was the point guard. James Worthy, Sam Perkins.
Yeah.
And I think Doherty was the other forward. So, I'm a big time Michael Jordan fan. I was just bull.
STC, he's saying the Madhouse on Madison rocked. STC did a song, I think, with his band or something, and he sent it to me. I need to play it one of these. I told him one of these days I'm going to play it on the show, and if I was all in my normal setup, I would pull it up right now for you. STC, remind me to do that in the next show. I will do that because I'll have everything plugged into my computer and all my external hard drives and stuff that it's stuff stored on, and I'll be able to pull that up for you. But it's really good. It's really good. He's a big Bulls fan too. I like Cliff's question here. You guys have any comments on the NASCAR race in Chicago? I think that's pretty scary, but badass. That's my comments. Did you hear about that?
I thought it was great. I watched parts of the last two races, man. I enjoyed it because I'm a NASCAR fan, man. You know, I really got into NASCAR back in the day because whatever your dad was driving on the street, that could be running on a race. It's not
Model T.
The horse and carriage.
You're talking to PJ, right?
But it's different because of that. I mean, there's only, what do you got? Toyota, Ford, and Chevy, I think, are the only cars running now. And Toyota is not a North American stock car of the auto racing kind. But
it's I thought
it's been here so long. Go ahead.
I didn't think it was NASCAR. I thought it was Grand Prix.
Let me state the obvious real quick,
NASCAR.
guys.
That was a NASCAR race, dude.
Oh,
Us black
I didn't see
guys,
it.
black guys don't really do a lot of NASCAR watching. I'm just saying. Some of us do, but the majority of us, no.
Man, you
Just going over my head what you guys talking about.
probably
Right now.
not.
Me
but
too.
It's becoming larger in the Hispanic and African American community. There's drivers, man.
All
I
right.
think everybody, you know what? Anybody that likes cars, if they love cars, it's something that I think you should watch once or twice. See if you like it, just because it's easy to get carried up. Like,
I thought.
broken records, man. We don't need any of those. I got enough of that for all of us.
I thought it was supposed to be Grand Prix, though, because I remember thinking, who's pulling who now?
He pulled himself.
I took myself off.
I thought I remembered it was Grand Prix because I was like the Grand Prix cars are like the lower to the ground ones with the front fins, and
If I'm not mistaken, isn't a Grand Prix car the cars without the wheel wells, whereas the
right.
NASCAR would be
the front fin on the front,
Yeah,
and they got the
yeah.
big fin in the back, and the big
Yeah.
fat wide tires, and
Right.
Well,
I know a little bit of something about the cars. I'm just saying.
but I thought it was Grand Prix because I remember thinking that's really cool, but
Grand Prix is just
Scary.
cars that anybody can build to compete if you've got the millions of dollars to do it.
well, that's why I thought it was
NASCAR
because NASCAR just goes in a circle.
Well, they have road races, and they've been having road races for decades, man, 50, 60 years, but they're usually in California or Arizona. So what they've done is they brought a road race to the Midwest, which we haven't had a road race in the Midwest. And, man, there might have been a few in the 60s. I don't even know because I'm not as good as some of these other people with NASCAR. But what NASCAR, the greatest thing about NASCAR was this: the North American Stock Car Auto Racing Association. So it was any car that a manufacturer built. You'd go buy it from the dealer and make modifications to a point, and that's all you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Today it's nowhere near the same because you literally had this, whatever car was running in NASCAR, you had to sell at least 500 of those cars to the general public just to get on the track.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's no way that any of these NASCARs will be driven on the street because they're, first off, they cost about $1 million a piece or more. And they're nothing like the cars on the street. But literally back in the day when I was a kid, you pulled the car out, you bought a brand new car, you emptied it out, you put in a seat, you put in roll bars, and you made modifications to that car. That's why it was called stock car racing. It is no longer stock car racing, and it hasn't been for 40 years. It really hasn't been.
Well, that was why I thought it was Grand Prix, because those cars are meant to handle the tracks that they race them on are meant to speed up and slow down and take turns, whereas NASCAR is just really going in an oval the whole time for the most part. And there's a lot of Grand Prix races that go through cities, Japan and all these different cities that they
all over the country. World.
Yeah, so I didn't know NASCAR did that. Interesting.
They do. They have a road race. They used to have more, and they kind of cut back on them. But I believe there'll be another one coming up in California in another 3-5 weeks or something. That's been around for my lifetime, at least that I can remember. So they do it, but they can
before Moses.
What?
Since before Moses.
That's how the Red Sea got parted, dude, by NASCAR.
They were NASCAR racing ships.
Yes. Son of a bitch. But Shorty, they can set these cars up to do anything they want. Like the circle races, they change the entire dynamic on the one side, so the car's kind of turning already when you get in it.
Right. Yeah.
They can make so many adjustments like that with these cars. It's disgusting. I wish I could do that with my car. I'm going on a trip. I'm going to put this,
Yeah.
I'll
Make
just
it
turn
easier
this,
for this
turn
specific
this.
trip.
The car's ready to go on the highway and get the best mileage and the best handling or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what they can do with the cars now. But
Guys,
they're not stock cars anymore. They're nowhere near it. They've got a plastic body in them that kind of looks like the car on the street. And even though that, I think the Dodges are racing, but they're Chargers or whatever, but they're all two-doors, even though they don't even no, I'm wrong, because now it's Mustang, Camaro, and I think Toyota. So that's it. So those fit, but for a long time they had all these four-door models they were running through there, and they just slap a body, and you'd never know the difference. It's good, but it's not what it was. What I enjoyed, the fact, like I said, in '72, a Mercury Montego MX won the Daytona 500. I walked out the door. That's the same car my dad would drive to work every day. That was what, if you won on Sunday, you sold on Monday. That's how it all started.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
I think
I don't think it happens anymore that way.
I used to not keep up, know a little bit of something about NASCAR up until Dale Earnhardt passed away. It was like, ugh, and that like really just tilted.
Very strangely too. It didn't seem like an accident he should have died in, comparatively speaking.
One harness would have saved his life.
Guys, I have to ask you a question. PJ, is your brother coming in tonight, Marcellus?
Yeah, he's headed home now. He told me
he's running a little bit late.
Yeah.
Because I gotta take off for a little bit, guys. You guys I was kind of waiting for Marcellus to get in so you guys could kind of take over the show for me a bit here, because I literally just pulled into the driveway when I got here, and I'm getting evil looks from my wife because I have to finish helping her.
Get off. We'll see you later, man.
We'll see
you.
So I'm gonna take off for a little bit. You guys have fun. Remember to keep it.
Scrody fits.
We're talking about some safeties here too. Keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
We're talking about safeties of that harness.
Yeah.
and when the Scrody fits, it'll be back. I don't worry. I'll be checking my screen name when I come back. Fucker. Guys, you guys are awesome. I'll be back in a little bit. Chat. Sorry, I got some stuff to do. Kind of on vacation here, trying to do a show still, just to keep things rolling. These guys are going to keep it rolling for you. I'll be back in a bit. Now Foster's gone.
I bailed on him.
Yeah. Hey.
I was trying to find something to light my cigarette with, and I can't. So we're good.
Clip says, "Let's see if we can get 1,000 F-bombs while Shorty is gone."
Man.
FCC, they'll have a note on his door.
I'll be back in a bit, guys. Have fun. I'll see you soon.
All right, later. Have some fun, dude.
Cool.
You too.
All right, there. Let's see. I'm looking at this chat here, and
my thoughts exactly. You just start running through it.
I'm gonna get some of you guys' comments up here so we can comment on some of your comments, because you are the show. Except for Retro, he's not the show.
Retro
he rags on everybody, so he can't be the show.
And he is the show. He's a fan, Dad. Never. Why don't you start? You want to hit the comments, dude? And we'll just start wherever you want, man. And we'll just start talking.
Give me 1 second. Handle it. I got to take this phone call. Handle it for me real quick.
We're good. I got this. I'm going to put this up here right now. There's
I want you to let me know when. Shoot me a text when Marcellus is coming on, so I can. I want to know what he thinks of my dance.
No,
they're gonna get. I have one fan in Shay. Maybe I can get another.
Nope. I already sent her an email twice, man. I told her, don't give you any encouragement, dude. It's becoming a weekly thing where he's thinking he can dance again, Shay. And I told him he cannot believe this stuff. But
I'll go back to my stand-up dance when I come back.
All right, you guys there. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, let me know. Shoot me a text, Foster, when Marcellus comes in, and then I'll pop back to bring him in for the for his opener song, so
he's asking where's the link. Did you send it to his email or his text message?
I sent him to his email.
Okay.
PJ, you could take the link from right here and just send it to his cell phone or his email or his whatever direct message.
See down at the bottom there, it says invite.
Just you could do that. You send them that from wherever to wherever.
Click invite. Go copy.
Okay.
Are you guys on Facebook, Peach?
Mm-hmm.
And so is he, because he just click invite and send it to the messenger link. He'll have it instantly, and then all he's got to do is go there and click. He's in.
I'll send it to him again just to make sure.
There you go. Because I've had problems with the emails too, man. You know that if anybody remembers.
Yeah, and I was literally in the car connected to a hotspot when I sent it, so.
Mm-hmm. It could have not sent it.
It very well could have.
Had that happen.
One more time.
Did he look in his spam too?
Yeah, tell him check his spam.
You guys just asking too many questions here. Just calm down now, dog. Calm down.
I'll see you guys soon.
All right, buddy.
We'll figure it out. Hey, Retro Music wanted to know what was the name of the original name of the Arizona Cardinals. Well, it depends, Retro, because they were the Chicago Cardinals and the St. Louis Cardinals. But before they were the Chicago Cardinals, I think in 1897, they were called the Morgan Athletic Club, if you want to go back that far. That's a fact.
Wow.
Not sure if I got the year right, but they were originally called the Morgan Athletic Club, and they are the oldest NFL franchise.
Is there anyone else in the chat who believes, along with me, that Foster been here since Adam and Eve?
I planted the apple tree.
Man.
So I was here before him. No.
Man. Man. Golly. Look, you man. Like this guy, it is trivia here. Man.
It's Retro's fault, man.
Little known
Beerman even said Chicago Cardinals. I just said, how far do you want to go back? So now, you good on your phone call, man?
Huh?
You're done with your phone call, right?
Oh, yeah. Doug Van Dorn said something about Brisker. I'm trying to see what he was saying about Brisker.
Yeah, I didn't. My thing's not even moving. You worked that thing.
Brisker was consistently good during his rookie year, though I thought he looked better after he came back from the concussion break. He came.
Read it loud so they can hear it on.
I'm sorry. He came from the study time, as did Kyler. I would agree. Again, Doug, I'm a big fan of Brisker. I really am. I think he's just going to be, if he keeps on the trajectory, of course, I think he's going to be really, really nice and a perennial Pro Bowler for us.
I agree with that, Peach. I do. And I'm going to take it one step further. Look at him being a rookie. If you go back and look at every game that I'm laughing because of Dan Mo Beerman comment that I saw out of the corner of my eye. But if you look at every game as a rookie, this guy didn't make a ton of mistakes. You're going to have that mental lapse, especially when you're a rookie. I mean, veterans do it. You're not going to make every play. And if you look at him throughout the season, and I will agree with Doug on, it seemed like after that concussion break, he came back as a better version of who he was to those prior games, man. He seemed more comfortable in a position.
Well, I think, when you are a rookie, everything's going so fast, your head's spinning. So when you get a chance to sit down and actually just watch some film, correct your mistakes, see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong, you can become better at it. So, I'm with you there. I mean, 100%.
And I gotta assume that there was plenty of coaching and talk time during this time off, showing him his mistakes, showing him ways to correct it. Because you don't just get better by sitting there taking 2 weeks off. There's got to be some action required.
Oh yeah, you have to be critical of yourself.
Yes,
and that's the thing.
Honestly critical. Yeah. Honestly is the key word.
Be critical of yourself. Say, hey, this is what I'm doing good. This is what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
And be able to have the mindset to try to fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just, again, we were talking about earlier with the coaching staff. I know they're involved in it. When the guy's down, I know it. I just, the way they do things, man, it's not the last 2 or 3 regimes we had. Nothing like it. Very involved, man. Velas is working on punt returns as we speak in his backyard. What do you got next, man? Oh, I saw a cell sighting.
Yeah, let's take our time and introduce him here. He's been a Bears fan since I've known him. He's a great guy, actually, and I can honestly say I love him. Without further ado,
he's like your brother. He's like your brother, isn't he?
Younger brother. What's up, man?
Hey.
Fellas.
What's happening, man?
How you
What's
doing?
going on?
What's going on? I got 50,000 questions for you.
Man, I got 49,999 answers.
Gonna leave one hanging, huh?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
Living the dream.
I'm going through the chat here, and I'm trying to see answers to some of these questions or comments, or respond to some of these comments these guys making. I'm sure Retro got something to say. Let's see. Retro says,
real quick, I think Brisker is going to be better when they have a better defensive line. He's really going to show out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he did that well with that suspect line.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. I thought that the mere fact that we generated no pressure from the guys up front, and he still had a pretty good season.
Yep.
I thought was pretty impressive. I think as we get better this year with getting some push up the middle, that it's going to really be nice.
Oh, crap.
I missed it. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
He's gonna dance, dude. He's gonna dance. It's warning everybody.
We have to bring Cell on for the new guest opener.
That's right.
We gotta know what you think of my dancing, Cell.
Oh boy. America's not talent. America's not talent.
America's not talent.
America's not talent.
He's trying to get people on the bandwagon. He thinks he's dancing better and stuff. It just ain't happening.
What about if I did like the kid and play thing where I went like?
Oh no!
There is no what if. Are you standing there in your underwear again?
Yeah. Did you see that?
Hey, P. Here the skivvies.
I told you I had some business with my wife.
Yeah.
These are shorts. Come on, they're shorts.
I'm joking, man. I don't see a black eye yet, so she must have not taken care of business.
Oh man. So thank you for coming back on the show, man.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
But thanks for coming on, because I needed you to cover for me tonight, man.
Oh, I'm here.
So wait,
I'm a little tardy, but I'm here.
So give me your best dance then.
Oh,
so if I went like that?
That's it. That's it. Or like my brother told me when they did in Korea. That's it.
They were in Korea. They should have been doing this. My dad was in Korea, man. Wow.
So I wanted to welcome you onto the show, and I wanted to get your honest opinion of my dance, so I can keep working on it.
America's not talent. That's
America's not talent.
Right.
America's not talent.
You can have the #1 spot on that too, Dan. I'm right behind you though.
Shit,
man.
Well, that being said,
he's just shaking
you guys in a little bit.
I noticed.
Stop coming back and bothering us. We were actually having fun without. No, I'm kidding.
And all these in all these times you guys dancing, you notice I don't give a dance out here, right? Because I'm smart enough to realize where my talents are, and it's not on the dance floor.
That's
Same
why
here.
I got the video of you dancing in the background during the show when this show started. He was in back dancing, but the minute he came on live, that he put the kibosh on that, dude. He wouldn't do it in front of anybody but us, and he still made a mistake because I made Dan record it. I'm joking too. I'm joking. We don't have it recorded. I wish we did though, because I'd like to show everybody.
Hey, Sil, Mark says welcome.
Tell Mark I said what's happening.
You can tell him yourself. You just said it.
All right, what's happening, Mark?
Cliff says, "Hey, Marcellus."
Hey, Cliff. All
Uh,
right, where we at now? I'm seeing if I can see this.
our resident comedian Retro says, "Marcellus, you look like Gary Coleman on steroids."
Oh,
Yeah,
that's why we can't see him.
feel me?
Yep.
Man. And we got somebody else new in the chat here. It's what is it? Hey, Plank. Yeah, Plank. I'm sorry, Plank. Bear down.
Yes, bear down. And I see Doug Van
Thanks,
Dorn
Doc.
says, "Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. Good to see you, Marcellus." Okay.
Yes.
Hey, Plank.
All
Plank's
right.
been around, man. I see Plank here and
Glad to
there.
be
He's
here,
been around
guys.
us.
Cool.
I wanted to tell Mo I know about the stock cars and the moonshiners. I was just talking about when the factory owners got involved, and they got involved because there was too much money to pass on. So I'm aware that NASCAR really started because of moonshiners. That's really how it did start. They were building race cars, and then they take them out and race each other for money or the car or whatever. That's how it did start.
Now, am I not mistaken in saying about NASCAR? Now that you brought it back up, didn't they start in like the South, like
Yes.
Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas? Okay.
Right,
All the moonshiners down there, man. That's
Okay.
exactly right. It is southeast was a lot of it. Southeast, man. Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, into parts of Texas, Tennessee, Virginia. Because you could make a decent buck moonshining back in the day, sell it cheaper than booze
Thanks,
that they didn't pay
James.
taxes
Thanks.
on. So guys just kept doing it. And then a lot of them lost their professions, so they got stuck moonshining because they weren't going to be able to feed their families and stuff. It's really quite a story if you go back and you get all the information on the story of moonshining.
Moonshiners was a big business.
Yep. It still is today. I actually know people that have stills and are doing it right now as we speak, man, and they're getting 50, 70, 80 bucks a bottle.
Wow.
Seriously.
What was that
I
movie?
could get you a bottle. I'm not going to say, I know people, man.
You know people that know people that know people.
I probably, if they're seeing this, they probably are going to deny knowing me now, but
Right.
What was that movie with what's his name? About
Bridges.
moonshine?
Oh, Life.
No, not that one.
Oh.
The one who played as Bane. What's his name? The British actor. He played Bane in Batman. Tom something.
Come on, man. You know that. Come on.
I forgot, man.
I thought you were talking about Bo Bridges in the story of, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's the story of Junior Johnson. How he was a moonshiner, he became a NASCAR racer, and then he became like the greatest NASCAR crew of all. He had like 5 cars running. Junior Johnson that crew is still involved in racing from when he was moonshining as a kid in the 50s.
Tom Hardy, somebody said, bro.
Yes, Tom Hardy. I agree.
Tom Hardy.
It's Tom Hardy. He played in a movie with his brother. It was a movie about moonshining. It was him and his brother's moonshining. That was a pretty good movie, I thought, about moonshining. It was a pretty decent movie. I can't remember the name of it. Anybody in the chat know the movie?
I will have to remember.
Mr. Mayhem might know.
I cannot remember. I can't remember the name of the movie I'm talking about. So
Well, you guys must not be movie buffs.
seen so many, I mix them all up. I was going to say White Lightning.
Retro trying to come at you, bro.
I was going to say White
like I
Lightning
told-
was the name of it, but it wasn't, because that's a moonshine mooning with oh my God,
Lawless.
Smokey and the Bandit dude.
Somebody said Lawless.
Yes, that's it.
Burt Reynolds.
Mr. Mayhem. You're the man. You know what I'm talking about. That's the movie I was thinking of. Yeah. Back in those days with the whole, it's going to take me to another topic here, but remember when we was talking about, you know, the passage of marijuana laws now
Yeah.
and how, they making it legal. And my biggest thing was so many times people have gotten arrested for marijuana, even killed because of marijuana. And now it's legal. It, to me, is a disservice to the ones who has lost their lives because of it. That's just my personal opinion. I don't expect anybody else to join in, and I'm sure Retro going to say something smart about it too. But
I'm gonna join in real quick. Do you think the ones that are still incarcerated for that should be let out?
absolutely,
Absolutely. It better be.
absolutely. I mean, because that to me is just, again, if you want to uh, legalize it, you're diminishing or minimizing what other people have lost their lives for, spent time in jail for. All those things is just crazy to me. uh I just think it's wrong. So I say that to say that's the same thing that happened with the whole moonshine thing. So many people lost their lives, got incarcerated because of it, and then we turn around and make it legal, and you can't bring back those lives. So
Well, moonshining's not legal. I mean, you're allowed to make wine and so much of something, but I'm just trying to put it in perspective. That is
moonshine is a form of alcohol. Is the point?
yes.
So
I got you.
It's a point of alcohol. So it's like you incarcerate people, and people have lost their lives because of it.
Yes.
And now we're drinking it, and because the government with their fingers and being able to tax it and these things, and that's to me again problematic.
Well, let's see, Walter Besky said
Mhm.
it was illegal for the time, and they still broke the law, which is true. They did
I
break
agree.
the law back then, but
Yes.
they switched it up now, so they should be able to, you know.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, because, well, I guess my argument becomes, why are we legalizing it when we thought it was wrong then? To
Right.
where we can't get back those lives and that loss of time, and
Right.
that to me is a disservice to the
Why
people.
are we legalizing it? Because we're seeing the facts that it's nowhere near as dangerous as they used to call. You ever see Reefer Madness, black and white movie made in the late 50s? Check it out. You can find it. They're literally saying that people smoke weed and they start killing babies and doing all this dumb shit.
You said the 1950s.
Yeah, late 50s. Shut up, DJ.
I'm saying, you see it?
Man, he's so old he's part dust.
I'm trying to tell you, man, this dude is, I bet you his roommate was Methuselah.
Me, Moses, and Methuselah.
No. What it was, when Moses parted the Red Sea, he was on the other side fishing.
That's the same thing I told you.
That's what PJ said.
That's the same thing I told you.
Because I'm sitting there trying to reel it in, and I'm going, "What the hell? Where'd the water go?" Oh.
All right, we're gonna go ahead. I'm sorry. We're gonna get into the safeties again.
That's what I was.
Who is the backup safeties?
Well, I was sitting there. I had a list, and I kind of threw it away because I was trying to talk to some people in the chat, but I couldn't pull this up again. Well, because that's what I wanted to do. Exactly.
It was Elijah Hicks. He's a backup.
Yep.
We talked about him, and then there's Elijah Hicks.
He was there last year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Came from California.
Rookie last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year. Came from California.
What number was it?
37, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 37.
And then we drafted Kendall Williamson this year from Stanford.
Okay.
He seems like he's a player. I think he's going to be a strong safety backing up.
Because that's what Brisker is, right? Strong safety.
Correct.
And then Eddie Jackson's a free safety.
Yes. Strong safety is a guy that's always going to come up for the run. Free safety is going to roam, and Jackson's a free safety. I mean, yeah, Eddie's a free safety.
And I always look at strong safeties like Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed.
I thought Ed Reed was more of a free.
He was a free. You're right. But somebody like Ronnie Lott that just knocked the snot out of you.
Adrian Amos when he was with the Bears.
Right. And he's going to get cut, isn't he? Or did he get cut already?
You already got it.
Yeah.
You got it. So he's still a free agent.
Yeah, he's old now.
Yeah.
Well, isn't he what? Is he so if I think he's a year older than Eddie. So if Eddie's 31, he'd be 32. I think. I'm not sure. Did they come out in the same draft? No.
No.
Eddie first?
Amos was there way before Eddie.
Okay, so Amos is the older one. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
But I think he was young.
Came in younger. I think Amos came in the 2015 draft, and Eddie must have came in like
17,
18. But Eddie was older when he came out, because I think he was like 24 years old when he entered the draft.
Actually, Eddie could have been 8 in 2018 when they went to the playoffs.
He wasn't a rookie that year.
He wasn't?
No, he was not a rookie that year.
No. That was his second season, I thought, 18.
Was it? Okay.
I think so. Somebody tell us. I'm a little off after my 4th of July incident, man. Well, I'm always off.
We're missing somebody, aren't we?
Yeah. Thank God
he's
there's
not
no
going to be on
Dan,
tonight.
man.
He just wanted to dance and then get off.
No, he's on vacation.
Oh, okay.
He's down there kicking it in Florida with the alligators.
Okay. And what about our other guy? I forgot his name real quick.
They're on different shows. They kind of.
No, the one that was in the hospital and doing the Zoom from the hospital bed.
Yeah, he's on a different show now.
Yeah.
Oh, he left this one?
Yeah, he's on a different show now.
Yeah.
Oh, because the last time I was on, he was on this one.
So you are the star of the show.
That's right.
Oh. Since I'm the star, can somebody stop me?
No.
So okay, all right. Are you guys looking forward to the season? Ready for the season?
I'm absolutely ready for the season, man, because it's going to be here. What preseason starts in how long, man? 4 weeks?
Yep.
5 weeks? We're there, man.
What's the status with DeAndre Hopkins? Would you sign him to 1 year?
It's money, and where are we going to put him? Who you taking off the roster? Receivers.
That's true.
Let's leave this young core together to grow.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And DJ Moore's our veteran.
Right.
He's our veteran. He's
and
on
did
that.
You guys see the any pictures of Darnell Mooney lately?
Yes.
He is
that recent picture.
Yes. Ripped.
Yes.
So I'm like hoping that's not photobombed. And you know the NFL is going to investigate that.
Well, it was Photoshop. They took my body and put his face on it.
We got the comedians tonight, boys and girls.
you didn't know that, Sal?
Man, he's not an offensive lineman, bruh.
kind of buried that one on you, Pete. Ain't working.
Ego, it's always your brothers, isn't it?
No,
yeah.
No, so last year when I was nice and tan, I posed for that, and they really used my body.
When you were 10, all right, yes. He was really tan.
Man.
Really tan.
Man,
right.
I was a roofer, I was laying out there too long when I shouldn't have been. Oh, wait, that always made me red, not brown.
Man,
Never mind.
I'm trying to tell you.
Wrong color.
Yeah, Darnell.
He was beat red. That was me.
And hopefully he didn't lose, that much speed either. But, hopefully he's healthy.
Yeah. That's
the main thing.
Everybody we're talking
Either
about,
we
always come back to the health.
Because Eddie Jackson, it was one of the order, his foot. Okay, yeah. Darnell Mooney's ankle. Oh, we still playing BCP. You know me.
I just want to give a shout out to Paul Clark real quick. What's up, guys? Love your show. Bear down. Thanks for joining us, Paul. Appreciate you,
Paul.
my man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Big peace
cool.
to Paul.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I just think that, with going back to the safety real quick, any of you guys know much about the Kendall Williamson? I mean, like I said, I know Shea is a big friend of him. Shay is a one of the guests that came on our show before this, and she's a big fan of Kendall. But I know he's a Stanford guy, which implies he's pretty smart. So I'm curious to see what he brings.
Is he a free or strong?
I think he's a strong safety backing up Brisker.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see what he brings, and I'm wondering whether or not we'll bring back DHC for.
Yeah, he's back.
Is he?
Yeah, Houston Carson.
We didn't sign him yet.
I thought we did early.
No, I was going to say if he came back, it had to be in the last 48 hours because I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah,
okay, hold on for a quick second, guys. Hold up.
Double check. I know it wasn't early because I kept seeing the thing where he was still a free agent. I kept looking for it.
Yeah.
So if they brought him back, it was very recent, last week, because I just never heard anything about that.
Now, to Cliff's point here, he says, PJ, I'm waiting for preseason to see what these guys can do against NFL competition. I was thinking about going to the Bears and Indianapolis game over there in Indianapolis. I haven't made
want to go to
yet. Huh?
Yeah, tickets are. I seen the tickets are kind of high.
Yeah, well, everything's high these days.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That'd be the one I thought about going to, though. So that'd be interesting.
Absolutely. I got you, Cliff. I want to see what they can do in preseason, too. It's just what's the competition they're going to be playing against in preseason is my question. Because sometimes you got college guys playing against college guys, and you can't tell enough from that.
Right,
That's why when we say, like last year, we're going, wow, Dieter Eisland, he was the second best offensive lineman in the preseason.
Okay, Kendall Williamson got
snaps.
Houston Carson's number. Okay.
So you can only tell so much. It's the beginning of the season that counts. But I said this, and as we started talking about this last week, I was really excited with the entire back end of this defense because now we've got some apex predator linebackers who's going to make their lives easier. And then if the line gets some pressure, that's going to make their lives even easier. And what I believe Poles is doing, and I like this guy that Shea was so high on. I was just trying to find a little more information on him, but I looked at some of his tape, and I'm going, wow, she's right. This guy's got great potential, man. And of course, because Poles picked him, he's going to have great potential, right? I mean, we would hope.
Yeah,
I think he's lining guys up. We've got 3 or 4 backups for Eddie.
The secondary and linebacker crew is going to be great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Our D line, those 2 rookies, going to be something special too.
I believe that.
Especially the one out of Florida.
I believe we have more pass rush than people think. It ain't what we want,
right?
But we have more than it appears to be.
And we still need that edge. We still need the edge.
Yeah, I think we're a player or 2 away at the edge position.
It's
I'm a big fan of Gibson. I like Gibson.
I did
but
too.
I think he has to have someone
on the other side.
He has to be more of a dominant guy, and he can be the second. He's more of a Robin to somebody else's Batman, in my
opinion. when Khalil Mack was there.
Mack and Quinn.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys see Swifty's video last week or this past week about Gibson?
Mm-mm.
Yes, I did.
Did you see that?
I did.
And I was unaware that it was that much. He was double teamed more than guys like Nick Bosa. There's a couple big names that I went, wow.
Well, you know why?
Yeah, because there's nobody else. He's the only guy they had to worry about. If you stop Gibson from getting to the quarterback, you don't have to worry about getting sacked.
Whereas, San Francisco, they got all those guys up front there.
Right.
They can just come in droves at you.
But he was the 5th most double-team defensive end or outside linebacker in the NFL last year, Marcellus.
Wow.
The 5th most. So you think that affected his play, considering he's getting double? I'd be getting pissed because I remember when I played a little bit of defensive end for a game, right, and I'd have 2 or 3 guys on me because I was so little, they get mad and just
wait. I got to stop you.
Okay, somebody sack this guy, but nobody could step up and sack it.
I got to stop you.
Go.
Did you have face masks back then?
Man, I know you're PJ's brother, dude. You guys asked me the same questions.
Was George Salas your coach?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Marcellus?
Was
We
Papa
got
Bear
on
Hallis
subject
the
that
player?
that
Was he
defensive
was
line's
he
gonna be
playing with
better
you?
than
Papa
we
Bear Hallis was he your teammate?
It was a
What?
starting halfback, but Papa Ray Ellis.
Was it your teammate?
think. No, he's my son. I am his father.
But yeah, I mean, I think though the Williamson kid, he could be so. I mean, I ain't gonna expect a lot of a seventh rounder, but he is kind of intriguing to me just because 4 year player from Stanford. I'm just curious to see what he does do. So Shay did talk me into that, to where I am curious to see what he brings now. So to Cliff's point again, waiting for these preseason games. I'm really excited to see what our young guys can do.
Because there's only 3 games, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first game is against Indianapolis, or is that the second game?
That's the second game.
So that's going to be the important game right there.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the third game, they're going to take off, of course.
And you get a chance to see Richardson.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be, like I said, a bad ticket to get.
And you get a chance to see Stevenson, the cornerback.
Tyreek.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Richardson, the quarterback
from Indianapolis. Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. I mean, so I'm entertaining the idea. I haven't quite decided yet, so I don't know.
What are those tickets going for? $1.50?
Let me find out.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the seats out, I normally sit in the 200s. Is that what it is? Is that what we normally do? So it's like 200.
So. Yep.
I think they were around like $300 or $400, something like that.
Right.
I won't be doing a preseason game this year, then. I'm just trying to go to one game. I'm trying to go to a Raiders game with Chris Watts. And
How much that ticket cost?
What?
How much that ticket cost?
I didn't look yet because I'm afraid.
Yeah.
We're supposed to find out where they're sitting, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to start looking. I'm going to buy 2 tickets. If he don't use them, I know I can do something with them. Because the longer you wait, the more you're going to pay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had a couple people that saw the show that contacted me and said, "Hey, I can get you Raiders Bears tickets at a decent price." Now, I never asked them what the price is, because to me, a decent price is like $50, but that ain't happening. This ain't 1996.
This ain't even man. I don't even know if you could have got a decent seats for $50, but in 1996,
you'd be in the parking lot looking at it on the big screen.
Right. I got great seats for you.
Preseason tickets. Matter of fact, Jim McMahon's first game with this is the 80s. First game with the Chargers, it was like $38, and I got a parking pass and everything.
Wow.
Not a great seat, but not a terrible seat. But again, that was the late 80s.
That was in Chicago?
Yeah, Soldier Field. I still got the ticket. I can show it to you even.
No. We don't want you to show anything else, bro. Nope. Nothing else.
That's it, Foster. You're
all right, let's see here.
Foster took himself out.
The cheapest one is $47. That's in 600. That's way up top.
Thank you.
There's no more in the 200 section.
Wow.
So
no
what's
more
wrong
than
with
100 section.
what's wrong with getting a cheap seat, and then when everybody starts getting drunk and leaving at halftime, you just start walking forward? I always do that stuff too. You can do it.
It'd be my luck.
You used to be able to.
It'd be my luck. They'll know that I'm not sitting there, and then they'd kick me out.
That's true.
They got some end zone seats for 2 tickets for $111.
No, what, 600 again?
No, end zone.
How far up though?
Let's see. Section 152.
Let's work on that.
Towards the back of the end zone. It's like, it's back there.
I was going to say, work on that later, because I was going to tell you, Peach, if you guys want to go, I'll drive down there. I'll go.
I mean, I don't know.
Interested in doing that.
I haven't quite decided if I'm going
Right.
yet because I got to check out, my football schedule with the high school. But you know what else though? Sellers already noticed. I try to sit between the 20 and the 20, somewhere in between there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's my thing. I try to sit between the 20 and the 20.
Hey, you guys don't mind? I'm just snacking on a piece of cake right now, so don't mind.
Only if you freaking share it with us, man.
Is that the lemon cake, man?
Yes, sir.
Son of a gun.
You forgot to get some.
Yeah, you didn't give me any, man.
My bad.
Where are we at here on the
Always
chatty? Because I don't
always
even
your
know.
brothers.
Freaking Retro's got to throw me into this crap. Yeah, Foster knows about guys backing up. But Marcellus is going to spit out his cake.
What was that?
I said it looked like you were almost going to spit up your cake when I said that.
Oh no.
Walter Bresky, did you catch this one? Oh, okay, never mind.
Sorry.
Marcellus, did you bring it up for everyone?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll pass it out, dude. We need 78 pieces.
I'm sorry about that, Foster. What did you say about
It doesn't matter. Just go on with what you were doing. I didn't know what you were doing. There was somebody said something, and I said, we'll see what you guys think of this.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Walter. I read that.
Okay.
Oh, and it was a Walter Bresky question. We'll get off the defensive back safeties for a moment. Let me throw this on here because he says, "Do you think the Bears might try moving Sewell over to edge? Linebackers seem to be set at the moment."
Not at all. Not at all.
So we talked about this on the linebacker show, and people were saying that they expected him to do a bunch of pass rushing out of the edge spot.
I think I was listening to Greg Gabriel the other day, and he
missed
said
that
he's Sewell is 6'1", with short arms. That does not equate to a good pass rusher or a good edge. So I think he will blitz from the linebacker position when he's in the game at times, but I don't expect him to play the edge at all.
I'm surprised they still haven't got was it Inakwe?
Ndakwe?
Yeah, Ndakwe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's trying to hold out for a longer-term contract.
He wants a big contract because he's getting near the end, and he wants a winning team. He stated that. Now he wants to be on a winning team now, and the Bears, we just couldn't guarantee him that we're going to be winning. I mean, be honest.
Well, we're going to start winning this year.
We are going to start winning this year, but it's probably not what he wants. He wants playoffs yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and he's an older guy, and we still got, I think, $24 million we got to spend. And then we got those guys that are going to be cut. We got all the guys that are going to get dumped in the next 4 or 5 weeks. There's going to be, what was it? Cliff had a number. There's probably going to be 1,500 players available in the next month, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Right.
And you look for those guys. There's a guy on the Jets, and I can't remember his name because nobody's talked about him much. I saw one guy talking about him who's probably going to get released because they just re-signed. They redid a couple contracts to keep some other guys there with Rodgers being there. So now they're going to have money problems, and he's like the number 4 or 5 pass rusher on the team, and he's a defensive end.
But he's on his rookie contract, though. He is. I think he's on his rookie contract.
I think his number's 44, and it's still the contract. They're talking about having problems financially keeping this contract, whether it's rookie or not. I don't know.
Because I know who you're talking about, but from a Jets perspective, being a defensive head coach, I'm not going to get rid of my 4th or 5th good defensive end because of I got other guys in front of him because I'm always thinking like, hey,
your general manager.
Somebody said,
hey man, we just drafted 2 guys, and there's a couple guys I'm looking at make this team work this year, salary cap wise, so we don't have problems. I have to release one of these guys.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that it is, but that could happen.
Walter Bresky is right. It is Walter Huff, but the point I'm making is
Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff.
Yeah, Bryce Huff. I don't
Thank
think
you, Walter.
I don't think he will command a new or that much money because I don't think he's going to get paid that much this year. I could be wrong.
I don't even know what he's getting paid. His name was mentioned in a show and an article on about a week and a half, 10 days ago, a little more, maybe somewhere in there, a week and a half. I'm right. I can't remember where I read it, but I read that article and then they were talking about it on a show. He might get stuck and be the odd man out on this team.
Somebody said, what about Justin Houston as a fill-in guy?
We've been talking about him for 6 weeks, man. Because when they were talking about bringing Marshall back and a bunch of these guys, everybody's like, dude, why not just sign Houston if we're going to bring an old guy?
How old is Houston?
34, 33?
34.
Yeah.
What about Javion Clowney?
He's not much of a pass rusher.
He's
Not anymore.
Not.
He never has been.
That's right.
He's really
He's
not.
more of he's a good run stuffer. But to answer my own question about Bryce Huff, his current contract $4,304,000. Bryce Huff signed a 1-year, $4 million contract with the New York Jets, including an average annual salary of 4.3. Huff will earn a base salary of 4.3 while carrying a cap hit of 4.3. NFL contracts specifics generally collected from verified reports. He is 25 years old, 6'3". Yeah, I guess he signed a 1-year contract. Yeah, he signed a 1-year contract with the Jets. So they just re-signed him for 3. So I doubt if they try to get rid of him.
Did they have the date on it? Was it like just recently, or was it from last season? I'm just trying to.
They signed him at the beginning of
last season.
This year.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
But that was before they had to rework Carl Lawson's contract.
Yeah. I'm thinking it was like April 20th, maybe.
Okay, that's right about the time they reworked Lawson's contract.
Yeah.
I just hopefully somebody's going to have a problem with money because there's a bunch of teams that are in the spot that have a problem with money, and Poles has got the money in his hand waiting to pounce. That's the way I look at it.
Do you think Bears should trade for Washington's defensive end?
Chase Young?
Yes, Chase Young.
PJ's that's your brother's guy, man. I'd mess around with PJ on this because he's been saying this since day one that he loves. I remember looking at a video back, like we were on the Bears Aldo show, right?
Right.
And I'm going, Chase Young's got 2 years left on his contract, and Montez Sweat's got 1, and PJ's going, and I'm going, we signed Montez Sweat, and he goes, fuck you. He didn't say it, but he went, So I remember that, and that's like I don't know how long ago that is. PJ's been on his wagon forever, and I'm with him. I agree, really. If we can get the right trade where we don't have to give up tons of assets.
Probably like a 3rd rounder.
But that's what you hope.
Right.
But what's Washington going to ask? See, Washington's another team that's going to have financial problems next season, man.
Yep.
But if you think about it, though, Foster, the fact that he is on the last year of his contract,
because they did not.
He shouldn't command a lot of draft capital because he's on the last year of his contract.
And plus injuries
as well.
Right. I'm agreeing.
And
that still doesn't mean that Washington can say nope. They can play the game as hard as they want. There's going to be a bit more for that dude probably.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to play the game, but Mo Bierman does have a point. I am a realist.
Damage goods.
He does have some damage, but that's why I would give him I would require an extensive
physical
before I would even agree to that trade.
Yeah.
What's up there, J2K? Glad to see you, my man.
Here, I didn't do this. Is like last week was like the first week I forgot. Fucking J2K. I was going to do it last week and I forgot, but he wasn't here. But I was going to do it anyway. And then King Buka World popped in. What's up, Buka?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on for a quick second, guys. All right.
All right, man. Chase Young numbers doesn't equate to hype. I agree with that to a degree. I mean, I just looking at, I guess, the possibilities for me. That's how I'm looking at him. The possibilities, whether or not they work out, I don't know. J2K, if Wash sucks, they may blow that team up at the trade deadline anyway. But even at the trade deadline, him only having what 9 games left under contract, he shouldn't a 5th, maybe a 6th at that point, because for only 9 games that you'll be getting him for, you're not giving up very much draft capital at all.
You better not. And Poles won't. He just won't.
Yeah.
We've got even the next 2 years of the draft. Even if we don't pick up any more trades, we're in so much better shape.
Yeah.
And I expect him to get a few more guys somehow. I know he's going to do it. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think next year
he's going to work and get some extra picks for each of those drafts coming up.
He's going to draft an edge in the first round next year, I believe. I like that kid out of Florida State, Vespa, I think his name is, something like that. Versa,
Verse out of Florida.
Yeah, no, Florida State. Where
did Dexter come from?
Florida. He came from Florida.
Okay, so are you talking about Jared Verse?
I'm talking about the guy from Florida State.
You know what, man? The last 2 days messed me up.
I think
I'll figure it out.
I think
see who that is.
It's like a Versa or something like that.
Jared Verse, what college? I can't remember. Oh, you're right, Florida State, and it is Jared Verse, the guy I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, I would not mind him seeing him on the Bears. That's for darn sure. Take him all day long, dude. Let's try and get back to this. I'm seeing a lot of questions here in this, and I don't know who they're talking about. What was all Doug Van Dorn? All I will say is I'm tired of feeling like the best we can do is to try and get someone that some other team doesn't want. I know you can find good players that way, but still, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I just see how many. I'm not saying it's going to be somebody that we're going to rely on, but we're going to pick up 1 or 2 guys that are going to make a team difference on this team, because teams do it every single year. And I'm always aggravated when it's not us doing it. We're always taking somebody that's past their prime, just bringing them in because of their name, overpaying them and not getting nothing out of them or getting minimal out of them. Like even Quinn, and I love Quinn. I thought that was a great signing. He had the 1 season, though. That was it.
Yep, that was it.
Let's bring him back, because this should be a year he gets 20 sacks again. It's an odd year.
Right.
If you look at every year of Quinn being out there,
but
his odd seasons are the good numbers. Every year.
His odd season with the Bears, Eberflus wasn't the coach.
No, but he got 18.5 sacks and set the record.
But Eberflus wasn't the coach.
That's right.
Different system.
You're right. He would have to play defense. We ain't bringing him back anyways, because we're not going old. We're not going old.
Right.
We're not going old. We
have
too many opportunities to get an older player with experience and have not done it, because we're building this team from the draft, just like Paul said. So if it takes an extra draft, then it's going to take an extra draft. And usually these kind of rebuilds take 4 seasons. This guy, look what he's done in 2 years.
Right.
Can't believe what he's done in 2 years. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's older is a holdup. I think the system-wise, he could probably do well in it, because we just require our edge to get upfield, and
that's what he's good at.
With the interior pressure, the interior pressure can force the quarterback right into the hands of the edge. So I think he can fit the system. I just don't think they're attracted to him because of his age.
Yeah. Well, he said he'd prefer the 4-3, because then he doesn't have to worry about doing any pass pro.
Exactly.
He's just going to go for the quarterback. I mean, that was kind of why he was happier to leave him when he did, actually, at the end.
Mm-hmm.
K2K, Jared Verse. Oh, so the James Ford question, that's about Chase Young, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a
knee at first.
Knee, and then
he had a hip injury too.
He had an injury.
thought it was
He had
a
an
foul.
injury that was not a football injury, and it was a bad injury. That's why it took him so long, and he looked so bad at the end of the season. Even he was not fully recovered. I did want to say this though, because Mark Kazak said this in the chat, and I'm with him. I would rather that the Bears find the next Chase Young, and it could be Jared Verse in the draft.
I like I said, I like Jared Verse. I do.
Do?
I've seen him.
What do you guys in the chat now? I'm sure J2K. So have you guys looked at any film, or do you know, what do you think about Jared Verse? I mean, you've heard his name really if you pay any attention, and not a lot, if you pay a little attention to college, you've heard the guy's name, especially when they were talking draft time. Oh, is he going to come out? Is he not? He's coming out next year. So
We're kind of not talking about somebody too,
We're
though.
way off the topic of safeties. We can always go back to that. It's
Dominic
just
Robinson.
what we're talking about now. Go ahead, Marcellus. Sorry.
Dominic Robinson. He might have a decent year because
he has a lot to develop.
He showed potential.
The first game.
Yeah. So a year under his belt, you never know.
And you got to remember with him, he's only been playing defensive end now for 3 seasons. The dude was a wide receiver and a quarterback.
Exactly. Yep.
So he doesn't have the experience, but just the little flashes we saw last year, man. If you coach this guy up, and we really got like 3 or 4 defensive ends that could maybe do some stuff. DeMarcus.
Yeah.
Some of these guys we don't know because they were never put in this place in this system.
Right.
So we really don't even know. You could look at it and say, oh, this guy was great doing this for Tennessee, blah, blah, blah. Well, now he's in a little different system, and they're going to move him around. So the potential's there, but it's when we see it, man, because I got a feeling we're all just going to be smiling like mothers when it comes down to what we got on this line. I still think it's better than what we got.
Yep.
Than people say, man.
I think
I hear stuff all the time. I heard Coward was putting down the offensive line. Or actually, he was saying how decent our offensive line was last year. I started laughing.
I think
he posted a podcast today saying, well, the Bears line wasn't like terrible last year. And I'm going, did you see every play, dude? He goes, I said their grades may be average. Look at the difference between our run grades and our pass pro grades. Our pass protection last year was disgusting, in my opinion. It was terrible, atrocious. That's his word. He said, well, the Bears' offensive line wasn't atrocious. And I just thought, crap.
No, year before last, it was
line with
atrocious.
3 guys and whoever.
Year before last,
3 guys and whoever.
That Cleveland game exposed us bad.
Yeah,
terrible. I'm sorry. I should say the play calling, the way they called that game was terrible. The block protection, because they didn't even use a tight end to block. They sent them out. So
you talking about 2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like they just set him up, to fail.
Well, coaching matters.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, coaching matters, and
critical.
The fact of you're not protecting a rookie quarterback is asinine, and I just don't understand his philosophy.
Right.
A lot of the things he did, and it's like it just wasn't head coach material.
Right. Heck, it wasn't even coach material.
I'm going to read J2K's statement here because we started talking about this last week. I saw a stat today that this is J2K from the chat for people that can't see it. I saw a stat today that said we have the second most available cap space from 2023 to 2025. Poles has set up the Bears for signing Fields long term, and that's exactly what I believe. And that's why we're not making some of these bigger high-end moves, I think. Because that's going to cost, what, 52, 55, maybe more million a season for him. That's what he's going to get. Right. They're already there now. He might even get more because his contract.
Well, to me, in order for him to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks, he has to get at least a playoff win, maybe 2 playoff wins to be put in that category. I don't see him being one of the top 5 QBs, although it's his term, being paid unless he has some type of success behind him.
Right.
And I think the fact that Hurst got his money is because he took them to the Super Bowl. So if he had not,
a giant leap from that season to last season, a giant leap. If you go back,
even in
he
taking
saw
that
it coming
leap,
the end of the season the year before. Sorry, Pete, go ahead.
well, even in taking that leap, though, I think had he not won a playoff game, even though he took that leap, I don't think he would have been in the top 5 quarterback getting paid.
And they probably he needed to throw at least 3,000 yards too.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think you have to equate both because even with Daniel Jones, he got a playoff win, but he didn't. I mean, he wasn't spectacular, so he wasn't a top 5 quarterback. Got paid. He got some money, but he's not in that top 5. So that's what I'm saying. I think you got to have some success besides just the numbers.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm looking at it more like this. I won't even go the passing yards because what's he going to do running?
Right.
And hopefully those runs are not design runs. Those are broken plays that he kills other teams on. That's what I want. I don't want to see a design runs like
less. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. But the other thing is too that passing percentage, the touchdown to interception ratio, and wins. Those are the key stats for a quarterback. If you look at what these guys are getting, you got to be 65% because that's like the league average is 65% now for passing percentage. So you want to be in there. You want to have a high amount of wins, and then your TD to interception ratio. That's what a lot of these contracts. When I look at these contracts, they talk about all this stuff. And if you go to Josh Allen's, you look from one year to the next, he went like amazingly changed. Same with Hurts. Even Mahomes' numbers, and he didn't play a ton. He only played that one game.
Wow.
I shouldn't throw Mahomes in there. There's another quarterback I can't. Oh, the dude from San Diego. Look at their numbers.
Herbert.
And you'll see what Fields is going to need to be at with a winning team to get that contract.
Who's
those
in San
numbers
Diego,
that I just mentioned are Heart Foundation. How you doing, man? I was thinking about you last week. I was wondering if you were all right, brother.
San Diego got a team?
Chargers. LA. I still call it San Diego because it's been that way forever, man.
I know.
I hate the fact that they're in LA because I like them so much better in San Diego.
Yeah,
Not
that
an LA
stadium
fan,
was
dude.
Yeah.
I loved it when LA had no teams. That was some of the happiest football of my life.
Why?
Why is that?
Because my whole life has been media coast. The media's coast to coast. They always said, as a little kid and everything I can remember, the teams in the Midwest didn't get as much exposure. The teams in the Midwest were always talked down about, especially the Bears. And believe it or not, the Packers were too in the 70s and the 80s. They were beat to shit because they were terrible. We used to beat them all the time in the 70s. The Bears games in the 70s were great because if you go back and look at the records, we won a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a media bias. And my father, and you know what? I'm probably biased myself because my father pointed out to me when I was like 12 years old. You know, the Bears were never on Monday Night Football, even when they had good teams, not till late. I think there might have been 4 games in the entire 70s that I saw the Bears on Monday Night Football. And they sucked, honestly. They sucked.
Wasn't very good.
Chargers beat the crap out of them one game. Dallas beat the crap out of them. So they didn't deserve to be there. But the media, to me, was always East and West Coast bias. Listen to games. Pay attention to what people are saying because it's still there. It's still there. They'll kiss Rodgers' ass and Mahomes' ass, and if the Bears do like anything good, they don't say nothing about it. Most of these media guys, it's changing a little bit now because we got new guys coming in. But the old school guys, never. I've watched almost every single Bears game since 1975. Almost every one of them I've seen or been at. Preseason, season, you name it. I think I missed 2 games because they were blacked out. You couldn't see them in Chicago. It used to be in the 70s, man. If you didn't sell out Soldier Field, they pulled the game from CBS.
Yeah.
So what happened was they were losing the revenue, so Hallis would purchase the seats and give them away or something. They did that to stop the blackout, man.
Your teammate, right?
Bears were not good in the 70s, man. They were just PJ, you said you were last week. I think you said you became a Bears fan in '69. They went 1-13 that year. Do you remember? I don't, but they went 1-13 in '69.
No, I don't remember.
Great team. Butkus and Sayers, 1-13.
But you know what? I was still a fan. Because that's the only football I could watch at that time. So
because that's the only teams we can watch.
It didn't matter if they won or lost. I was a fan and I was stuck. I'm glued.
Man,
they got me hooked, man. That Chicago Bears got me hooked.
Yeah, so does that hooker. I'm sorry.
Not if I see her.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada.
You are home and land. Where is Keds?
Yeah. J2K, well, let's see here. J2K, I really like, this is Cliff. I really like what Poles and Stein have done with the salary cap. They are looking years ahead. And I agree. I've always been a fan of Cliff Stein doing our contracts, because when he does our contracts, we do a real good job of their kids is okay. But he does a real good job of handing or managing our salary cap to where we're very manageable. When Pace came and he brought the guy from New Orleans with him, I think Lucas. I think his last name was Lucas.
I don't remember.
Yeah, our salary cap started getting out of whack, and I was not a fan at all.
That's because Pace would just say, "Dude, you're going to sign this guy, make it work," and he'd be like, "We shouldn't." Okay, we got him. You got him. I don't know. I'm going off, but man, what a mess. And I'm glad, PJ, that you called up Poles and told him to make sure that he retained Cliff. So thanks for that, PJ.
No problem. Anything I can do to help, man, just let me know. I'm here to help the team.
I have no idea what you just said, but I know it was funny. I literally laughed without even knowing what it was. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
Crap, Dan's back again, man. How many times is this guy going to come on tonight?
I'm just saying, Kitty made him put on his hat.
Well, that's to hide the bruises. She smacked him in the head on the first time. You don't want him to take that off and see his forehead. There's a big club mark from that.
No,
matter of fact, I think. Hold on, I'm gonna steal your chat for a minute, Peach, because I think Retro saw the whole thing. I believe he did, and he says Retro said something like this because he did see what's going. He goes, "Damn, this kitty is literally tearing Mr. Shorty a new hole. He will do number 1, number 2, and now number 3." Which is a combination where both holes are mixed, so it's bad.
Oh man,
that's a messy situation. Man,
that's a messy situation.
I think I hear Kitty's voice in the background there saying, "Dan, get off the thing. Get off the
That's what I thought I heard too, man." See, Marcellus, and all you did was accept the invite, and now you're in. You're stuck.
Wait, what did Cliff say? Who's that guy that just joined the show? Some Packers fan with that shirt? Oh, why? It's still in the blue range.
No,
Oh,
dude, it's one of those cooling shirts. It's too freaking hot here to wear anything. It's
one of those shirts that your wife buys.
Doesn't he look, PJ? Doesn't he look like he'd fit right in with
at Costco
or Matt Nagy?
He looked like he's on Matt Nagy's staff.
Here it goes.
Yep. Look at, he's even got the red underbrow.
The Matt Nagy thing. Here it comes. Here it comes.
What's wrong with Costco?
Costco.
First
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
His twin.
This is funny.
It looked like a shirt that your wife buy you for Father's Day.
This is a Costco shirt, a pack of 3 or 4.
It really looks like you buy one, you get 30 free.
I'm liking this tonight. The heat's off me now. Thanks for coming back, Shorty.
You know what else is even funnier about that? I brought my Bears shirt. I brought the shirt that I usually wear, like a couple of combinations of Bears shirts, and I left them at my camper.
That's
all
right.
So now,
hey, dude, give me that address. I'll go grab them for you.
Dang.
It'll take you a while to get there.
By
the time you get here, I'll already be back to my camper.
For you.
So he looks at an old school map, doesn't he? How to get there? He got the paper map.
I have thought about going back to it.
Sundial.
The paper map. We thought about using the paper map again to go across country or something. That'd be fun.
Right. But Foster, before you put your finger in your mouth, did you at least clean it?
No,
Yeah, of course not. He likes the flavor.
I was picking my nose about 3 minutes ago.
I was gonna say, what it smell like?
I don't know.
Smell it. Smell it.
Man.
It smells like my spit.
So, what's up, Paul Clark?
Yeah, Paul.
Thanks for joining us, man. Heart Foundation, what's up? Thanks for joining us, Heart. Of course, Matt. Anybody else new here?
Matt's in the heel.
So so before I came back to the show, I wanted to my hair. I need a haircut. So I was like, I have this visor. It's a Cubs visor.
Cool.
And I because I'm so hot in the summer, I can't wear a hat. So I've always worn visors way before anybody even knew who Matt Nagy was. So I wanted to pose the question to you. A, there's a two-part question to this. A, is it okay to wear a visor anymore? And B, if it's not acceptable, is it because you can't wear a Bears visor, but it's acceptable to wear a different visor like the Cubs, or just a plain colored visor with no Bears symbol on it?
Hey, what if we just
as long as you got the hair, you're fine with a visor.
That's what I was thinking. I've got the hair.
Yep, you're fine.
Yeah, thank you.
You're good. It's got Cubs on it. I don't care if it had Bears on it anyways. Matt Nagy's gone. He can stay in Kansas City or go anywhere he wants.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to deal with him ever again because nobody will bring him back to Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, my take is no, it's not okay to wear a visor. Just no.
He's never liked visors, huh, Marcellus?
Nah. You need to get one of those visors that back in the day you could see through them. It was like green or blue.
I have one of those at home.
No.
It's got like the green part that comes up like this. Yeah, I've got one. I bought it in Vegas. It's a Las Vegas one. I would wear it when I was playing blackjack.
the dealers ones, man.
Start calling you Andre Agassi.
Don't you ever, never tell somebody you got one of those visors again there, Shorty.
Oh, not only that, but I'll wear it next time.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We're doing it.
Man.
That's why you out of here. You talk about wearing visors on the doggone show. What is wrong with him? I mean, get him out of here.
Oh, he's back.
Wait, Matt says you only can't wear the visor if you're bald. Visor up, hair down.
No, I'm going to get like 4 of them for the next show and wear them all at the same time, Matt, just because you said that.
I used to wear, back in the day, I used to wear my visors like this.
Oh, like a rally cap.
Yeah, if I was at a concert, I went to a lot of concerts in the summer, and I wore my visor upside down.
Stores beer cans in there.
Back in the 90s. The good old 90s, guys.
You know, back in the day, Foster used to run around with Seth. It was his best friend. You guys know who Seth is, right?
No. Bible.
Yeah, Seth is the son of Adam after Cain killed Abel.
I did not know that.
But,
So he wore a visor?
No, he didn't wear a visor. It was in the internet back then, but him and Foster used to hang out together, though.
Oh, him and Foster did.
Yeah. I let him tell, I let Foster tell the story. I mean, he knows.
How do you know Foster isn't Seth?
Wait a minute. Now that you
boy, that got you thinking. Then you're like, we're pontificating now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Foster, how old are you?
There'll be no pontificating or Foster questions tonight. That was last week, or the week before with the grill hour and the facial. You guys see it scroll back? Okay. We done? You're done?
Man. To answer your question of how old Foster is
that was your question.
Security number 1?
Huh?
Is it Social Security number 1?
It matches my license plate, so. One.
I'm just saying, I mean, you ever hear the expression old as dirt?
Yep.
Man.
Brian Gilmore, what's up, buddy?
Or so old he fart dust.
So what did I miss? Have you guys talked Bears at all since I left?
No.
Yes, we did.
We talked about we talked a little bit about the safety, talked about the defensive ends, talked about
O-line again.
we didn't say nothing about the O-line.
Remember when I was talking about Coward's thing, and I'm like, dude, he was saying that our O-line wasn't that bad, and I said it wasn't atrocious. It was atrocious pass defense wise. I said, how can we have an O-line with three guys and no weapon? But we did a little bit.
We wasn't paying attention to him.
Smart. You're smarter than I thought, Saul.
I was seeing before I left, some people were talking about Kendall Williamson playing safety. And I think that's a possibility too. Do you guys talk about that?
Yes. He is supposed to be playing safety.
Yeah. Is he? So well, he's listed as a cornerback.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's the one that took Houston Carson's number, right? 36?
Yes.
Okay.
Sad to see the transfer of numbers from players that you like,
Right.
Yeah, but it's got to happen.
What do you guys?
It's like Kendall Vildor wearing Matt Forte is just a sin.
Exactly.
But what do you guys think about the way they do the numbering system now, where they can wear the low numbers? The defensive backs can wear low numbers. The linebackers can wear low numbers.
Yeah, I don't like linebackers wearing low numbers, because I don't mind defensive backs like Deion Sanders. I didn't mind him wearing if he wore number 2 in the NFL. I wouldn't mind that.
Okay, cornerbacks, okay. Defensive backs,
I don't mind that. But linebackers, no, you got to be in the 50s. It's 50s, period. No 40s, 50s.
It makes it hard to tell sometimes what you're like. Even if you didn't know who the player was, you could always tell, oh, he's a linebacker. Right. He's a defensive lineman. Now there could be a guy that looks like a linebacker, but he's
what's the guy
defensive end or something.
Judon, wore number 9.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's no. Or the guy from Kansas City. It was defensive end. He wore number. Who was that? His best years wasn't in Kansas City though. It was.
I know you're talking about. You're talking about the guy who came over there from the. I think was it the Broncos or the Chargers?
Chargers. Melvin Gordon.
Yes.
Is it Melvin Gordon?
Gordon's a running back.
Yeah.
No, not Melvin Gordon.
He's
who's the number 9?
He played with Miami last year. You're talking about. That's the guy you're talking about, Sal.
Right, but he was with Kansas City too, wasn't he?
The year before.
Right. He had a single digit number. It's that's not right.
Yeah.
It makes it's weird when you're looking at a defensive end who's wearing 5 or 9.
Right.
I guess to them it makes them feel like they look slimmer. Or like if a defensive line, like a tackle is wearing 9 or 7 or something like that.
The fridge wearing number 3.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, come
that would have to be a really big free too, Mark.
Right. It'd be like 300.
I got one, and I don't know if you guys, PJ, you might. Micah Parsons wears 11, and 11 for in my mind for me forever is going to be Danny White. I don't know why. I just have a hard time. I'm like, you're wearing a quarterback's number, dude. You shouldn't be wearing 11. But that's me. Mm-hmm. But I'm you guys are all bringing up stuff just like that. So it's just weird. It's weird seeing a guy rushing the passer and he's wearing 11.
Just like,
and then he hits a guy with 11. It can happen.
Since you're talking about the Cowboys, it was weird seeing Randy White wearing 54 as a defensive tackle.
Back then, yes.
Yeah, that was weird back then.
Yeah.
Because that's a linebacker number.
But that was an easier transition for me because defensive linemen were always usually in the 60s and 70s. So I felt that easier to go from opposed to a guy that I thought should be wearing like 54 and he's wearing 11. You know what? Like Parsons, he's a linebacker, man. He should be wearing a 50. Right. If they're going to play him at the end, he should be wearing a 90 or,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're used to it.
Right.
Because like PJ,
we're all too old school for that, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
By the time we're talking to your grandchildren, it's going to be so different for them when you.
It's depressing.
Is it going to be too different though? Like, isn't it nice? Isn't it nice to keep things kind of symbolic in a way to keep them so that it's kind of the symbolism of the game in a way?
Yep.
No barking.
You can forget things if there's no reminders. You know,
right?
Which will be good for everybody coming up, the people that are just getting into football, because they'll be used to it.
But I think they're also doing it because teams are starting to retire a lot more numbers.
Yep. That is why.
Let me ask you.
That's why. You know what I'm saying? That's why they like allowing them to use those single-digit numbers or their college numbers, because all the numbers are starting to be gone.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. What happens when all the cornerbacks and wide receivers and linebackers and defensive linemen take up the traditional quarterback numbers? Are we going to start seeing quarterbacks wearing like 25?
00.
36?
Who was that
number
guy
36?
Who was that
Justin Fields, number 36.
Who was that guy for the San Diego Chargers that wore 21 who was the quarterback?
Y.A. Tittle? Is that it?
I just thought of Cliff Branch when you said that.
Was it like somebody like that?
21. I can't. Oh! You're going back to the '60s, dude.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. That's what I'm saying.
Can't remember his name. And he was
in a way, they are kind of reverting. I should actually shut up, because in a way, they are actually reverting back to the original NFL form. In a way, quarterback did wear 45 or whatever, and linemen did wear 10, and so on and so forth, just like we talked about. So it could be
42.
We'll see a quarterback with a double-digit number.
42. Hey, PJ, you remember Bob Parsons?
Punter, 86.
86.
86. The punter.
86. Yes.
But he was also a tight end too. That's why he had the 86. But he wore, even when he wasn't tight end, after he stopped being a tight end, he still wore 86.
It was John Hattie for the Chargers.
John Hattie or Hattie?
Hattie. H-A-D Haddle. H-A-D-L. That's weird.
They won a few championships.
Yeah, Bob Parsons was like 6'4", wore number like 86. He was a big punter.
Yeah, he was a monster.
And you said he was a backup tight end?
Yep. But he was their primary. Actually, he wasn't even the punter. I forgot what the story is there. He wasn't their regular punter. He was going to be a tight end, and then Hallis had him.
He was going to be a tight end.
He was.
How big he was, right?
He was, and then he said something to Hallis during one of the practices, and he's like, "I can punt better than that," and he did. So he became the punter. Because he was punting in college too, man.
That's going to be weird.
That guy saved a bunch of games for us in the '70s. I'll guarantee you that. Booming them 65 yards.
That's Todd Sauerbrunn.
Yeah, you're right, but Parsons was doing it in the '70s, dude. Maybe not 60 yards in the air.
He did have to punt a lot.
Damn ball, and it would hit the ground and always bounce towards the goalposts.
True.
That's what Sauerbrunn was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He was like
college, he had a booming leg, but to the Bears, he would outkick the coverage or the like line drives, no hang time.
Mm-hmm. But in college, he was what's that guy that just came out that ended up getting in trouble for some sexual stuff? The kid in the last draft or the previous draft, 2 drafts ago.
Oh, the punter.
Yeah, he was kind of like
he literally signed with the team, even though he was in court, and then they just released him.
Yeah,
I think it was.
But they had some cool nickname for a punter, and he was kind of like he was supposed to be the Todd Sauerbrunn.
Mm-hmm.
Or I should say, Todd Sauerbrunn was kind of like him in college, where he had that big leg, where you end up drafting a punter, like the Bears did.
He's still trying to get back into the NFL. This has been going on for years, man.
Who, Sauerbrunn?
No, the guy
the one that got in trouble
with Washington. They signed him out of college. He had all these controversies going on. They found him innocent of all charges, and Washington still let him go. And he's never been back in the NFL, and he was the best punter that year in the draft. Supposed to be great, but I've never even looked at his college stuff. But he was drafted and kept, and then in the middle of the controversy, actually after the controversy, when he won the case, that's when they let him go, and he's never come back to the NFL either. There was just a thing on him trying to get some tryouts in the NFL this season. It's like they're blackballing him, and he's found totally innocent of all charges.
See, that's what I can never understand how they do players like that. Like, say for instance, that guy that came out of was it Baylor? Oakley, I think his name was. Dude was ripped. Either Baylor or it was Baylor. He was in college he was a man child. He used to wear his jersey was short and would show his abs. He was ripped. And he got accused of rape like a senior year.
Oh wow.
And basically found not guilty.
That's the guy I'm talking about.
To the NFL. It's like Oakley or something like that.
Yeah, I think that I can't remember his name, but that's the guy I'm talking about.
Punt God was his name.
And they proved that he wasn't even there at the time of his rape. They proved it without a doubt. He was not there.
Right.
And
he got
still
blackballed. And they didn't give him a chance.
Still released him, dude.
Yep.
They had to go try to take him down just because he was the punt god.
That's what it was too. He was
Matt, thank you, Matt or Mo Bierman. Matt Ariza.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, Mo. That's what you guys are awesome for.
So I don't know if it's because Cliff's saying Matt Ariza is the punt god signed by the Jets. I might have the wrong guy, but this guy was accused of rape, and he's still not in the NFL now. Because I mean, this is like last week or the week before I read this.
Oh man, you guys are making me look this up now.
No, I'll find it. I'm going to find it because now I want to know. So after the show, I'm going to find it and write some stuff down. Which reminds me, I forgot my Italian gravy recipe for BT9. I got it. I wrote it down finally. It only took 2 weeks. I'll get it later.
Somebody said, Brian said, yep,
it was
released.
See, he was exonerated, but
okay. Then maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. We were talking about Punk God from J2K says. J2K says, are you talking about the Punk God San Diego State University Matt Ariza? He was let go by Buffalo, but had signed with the New York Giants, and acquitted of everything and then released. But he doesn't have released on there.
Walter said it was Sean Oakman. That's that guy I was talking about out of Baylor.
I think that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then you're getting put away for a little bit, man. It takes years off your life, and
right?
You can't be that top tier athlete no more.
What's up, J2K?
They weren't put away. They were acquitted of all charges, and one guy Oakley still getting
going through it. You can't play.
Well, they kept him on the team until after he was exonerated, then released him. I just didn't get that. You kept him through all the controversy. Now he's innocent, so get rid of him.
Now you get rid of him.
Without even he didn't play it down. Never got to do anything.
Maybe something in practice.
Maybe. Could be.
Yeah, you have you have people trading boatloads of capital for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
That just proves that. Come on, guys. Punters are people too.
That's right. They are. They should not be ignored.
Yep, they can determine field position.
Absolutely.
That makes absolutely no sense because if he was a quarterback, or
he'd still be in the league.
If he was a star quarterback, it wouldn't matter what he did.
Was it Mark Rippon's son or something like that?
Yeah, Mark
from Denver, wasn't it?
Yeah, something. I remember something.
Yeah, nephew. Yeah, that's it. He did all kind of craziness, but they kept giving him chance after chance after chance.
Oh, what's his name? He got the.
That is the guy, Sean Oakman. I'm sorry. Thank you, Walter. Again.
Jim Kelly's nephew.
That's Jim Kelly's nephew.
Quarterback.
Yeah, out of Mississippi.
Yeah, was it Ole Miss?
Yeah, I think he was at Ole Miss. I know it was an SEC school. It could have been Ole Miss, but yeah, he kept getting chances and chances and chances. Like, geez.
Shit, even well, that's a different character type, so I won't even no point to bring that up. But yeah, he's a perfect example of that. He's the son of an NFL legend, or the nephew of an NFL legend, plays the same position.
Yep.
Cannon for an arm.
Yep.
Cannon for an arm. The kid, if he had the mind, could be great.
Right.
Zip on it.
But they kept giving him chances.
Yep. And then was it a drinking problem he had, or what?
He got like broke into somebody's house drunk or something in Denver or something like that.
Yep, that's what it was.
He did it since he's been in the league.
Yeah, he was like he was playing for the Broncos, and I think he was drunk and broke into someone's house.
Yep.
But he didn't know it was there. He didn't it wasn't like a breaking and entering. Like he went there with harmful intent. He just He went into the wrong house, hammered.
Yeah.
Something like that. I believe that's what it is.
And
they were like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I mean, I know someone that did that too.
Man,
and he was like, he realized it wasn't his house. He was like, "Holy shit!"
Why the hell wasn't my key fit? And the lady opens the door and she's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm going, "Oh shit!"
One of my friends.
Thank God it wasn't that late.
I lived in a condo. My friend lived on the third floor. I went up to his his unit to go into his house, and I walked into the door across the street, and I walked into a different person's place. I was like, "Holy shit!" I turned around, I shut the door, like wrong place. I knew him, thank God, but this guy was hammered and did it. But he was a quarterback, and he still got the chance.
Right.
Cliff said, "Imagine the lawsuit Arezia has against the person who accused him. How much future earning jeopardized?"
Mm-hmm.
I get that, and it'd be good for him to get benefited, but the guy just really wants to play in the NFL, and I think he should have the right to try to play in the NFL again.
If he's exonerated, I 100% agree. And like Cliff's saying there, how much future earning is jeopardized because he's a punter.
Right.
He's only guaranteed so much as a punter anyway. And if that takes a huge hit because of that, it's even more damaging.
He's gotten nothing instead of a minimum rookie contract. He's gotten zero.
Right. You know what I also believe that they should do, like when those women accuse these guys of things and found out they're innocent, they should start charging these women.
I agree.
100%.
Because what we're doing is we're just, okay, he's exonerated. So we just allow it to keep happening. There's no consequences.
Right.
Once you're accused of something like that,
oh man,
it doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent. The stain is always there.
Yep.
I know that one for a fact. I know that personally, dude.
Of course you do.
30 years, like the same shit over and over that I never did.
We assumed that, Foster.
That's it.
Oh yeah, I got run over by a dump truck too. You think that guy got? It's like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Well, that guy got run over by a dump truck. Can you believe he got run over by a dump truck and survived? I got run over by a dump truck and rolled over my head. That's the way I am.
Is that why you're wearing that funny visor?
Can you believe he got hit like that? I got hit like that too. In fact, I fell out of a tree onto a curb. I know that firsthand. I've had the same shit happen to me.
Dude, I was out after midnight. I was 12 years old on my bicycle, and I got hit by a Chevy Vega, and I rolled over the car. And I never told my mom because I was afraid I was going to get in trouble.
Oh my God.
A Chevy what?
Vega.
A Vega.
I remember that car. Was it a station wagon?
No, it was the little two-door, man, the regular Vega.
Was that the one Fred Flintstone had? We had to lift up and start, using your feet as brakes.
Man,
no.
That
was the one Barney had, Marcellus. Barney.
Barney.
So,
his buddy Barney.
I just
okay.
I just figured it out, Shorty.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Magoo. Foster tells these stories like Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo, yeah. I love how he tells them with such conviction too. I know firsthand because I had the same thing happen to me too.
I won't bring up truths anymore. I'll just shut up. No. Okay, so now you're going to make me tell this one.
I have to keep giving you explanations for the reason why I am. So just let me keep going.
So when I was 12, there was another kid that looked just like me.
No.
I mean, just the same strawberry blonde hair, and this was in the early something BC PJ. So this kid used to get busted, and one time I'm walking down the alley, and he always just used my name even. I'm walking down the alley, 3 cops jump out and grab me, and I'm getting taken down to the police station for breaking a window on this lady's house, right? So finally, I'm going, it wasn't me, and we're arguing. One of my friend's moms lives in the alley I'm at. She calls my mom. My mom comes out there. The cops are going to take me down and fill out these reports. And the kid that did it came walking around the corner, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't him, it was him." But it messed up my life for like 5 years because this guy blamed everything he did on me because we looked a lot alike. He was maybe an inch taller.
Wow.
We looked so much alike, it was bad.
Was his name Papa Smurf?
Papa Smurf Senior. He's like
That
6
was his
months
name?
older than me.
Okay.
Shut
I
up.
thought his name was Papa Smurf.
That would be a great
That's my
gift for
girl.
him. A Papa Smurf hat. That'd be a great gift for Foster.
Go with my shirt.
A Papa Smurf hat, Bears blue, with the C on it.
There you go. Somebody will send
Oh
me
man, that's crazy. That's crazy, Foster. Did you say you were like a little strawberry blonde, huh?
You ever see the Bad News Bears? The first one.
Tanner.
That's what I looked like, and I acted like him too.
And you were short like that too, huh?
They used to call me
you was a
Tanner.
little rough,
Like my
little
first
something,
nickname
something.
was Tanner's coming.
Yeah, Tanner was a little
Because I'd
little
just be
bully,
like,
little tough
I'd be
little
like this.
dude.
I'd walk up to somebody and I'd grab him like this. Fuck you. Don't treat me that way.
Tanner, the
They
little
just go smack, and I'd get up and go right back at him. I'm telling you, man, you're going to be in trouble. Blah, 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 blah.
At first, I thought you were going to say you was the coach, Walter Matthau.
Oh no! I just got to have my beer and my cigarette.
Or Kelly Lee.
Kelly Lee.
Kelly Lee was the man.
He had a Harley Davidson, and he could hit the ball like a mofo.
And smoke cigarettes.
Yep.
Hold on. You got to take a look at Foster's house.
We all smoked cigarettes when we played baseball and football, man. In my day, everybody did.
Show him that bathroom, Foster.
Bathroom?
Yes.
Wait, which one? Because now I got 2 of them. Are you talking about my shower system?
Yes.
Okay, hang on a minute. I'll show him the shower.
Hey, you notice how Foster be talking with that cigarette and that cigarette going on?
What?
Let me show you something.
It goes up and down.
Yeah.
Why would it not do anything else? I thought you were going to ask me about, hey, Peach, check this bathroom out. I don't know if you can see it.
Flip your camera around.
You have no ceiling.
Oh, wait, what's with the toilet?
Wait,
the lid is off the toilet.
You don't even have a faucet.
You don't have a tank on
He's
it.
squatting in a meth house, guys.
Hey,
You don't
what
have a lid on
did
the
Chris
tank.
Watts say last week? Oh, yeah, that's one of the houses Foster broke into.
Yeah.
I haven't broken into a house in over 45 years. It'll never happen again, only because my mom wouldn't let me in.
You guys
But
ever? You
that's
guys
the lid
ever?
for your tank.
You guys ever seen the movie Fight Club?
No, I never saw it.
With Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah. The
Never
premise
saw
of the
it.
movie was that he was like living in this abandoned house, and he was.
Is that a sink on the floor?
Yeah.
That's him.
It's a sink upside down with the faucet hooked up and then a line to the shower. Oh, you can see it.
Oh my!
Oh, Foster. Oh.
Hey, I had
Anyone that
one
wants to donate to the
Now I
Foster
get to
GoFundMe.
Right. Foster got an outhouse.
Yeah, but hold on. Let Foster tell it. he would have come work on your roof, but he ain't finished his bathroom in 2 months.
Hold on a second. We're starting to GoFundMe to support Foster's meth habits so he can continue to finish that.
What in the world you got going on over there?
There go that cigarette
hilarious,
again.
man.
Oh, cigarette.
Hilarious.
Hey, Leo Factor. You haven't even seen it yet, man. He haven't even shown you the room that he's actually sitting in. Show him the room you're sitting in, Foster.
What is that?
That is almost all tools in my bicycle. It's almost all tools, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Circular saws, miter boxes. You want to see my brake and all my other shit in the other room?
No.
We had enough for tonight, man. Man, golly.
Hey,
The only thing that looks good in that room right now is that Bears poster back there. That's it. That's it.
the basement's completely emptied and redone. So there's nothing there. It's all up here, damn it.
Oh,
You can only love Foster, man. I'm
Are
telling
you in a trailer?
No, it's a house.
Oh,
This is a 11-room house, dude.
That's the house he grew up in. He inherited from his mother, and he's trying to. He's trying to fix it, but he ran out of meth, so he has no energy. That's what I'm saying. We got to get a damn GoFundMe for this guy.
Right. I need some more meth and maybe some crack to go with it.
Cliff vacuums his lawn. He works on his house, but he's out of meth.
But hold on. The funny thing is, Cliff says he couldn't show, he couldn't come on air because he would have shown us his messed up office.
I know, right? I love Cliff.
Hey, Cliff, get the fuck out of here and take the meatloaf you wrote in on.
I could just hear Cliff in my head. He texted me, but I could just hear his voice going, he has that Chicago accent too. He's like, I'm waiting for the lanai to get done so that when it's finally done, then I can bring my setup back out there where I'm more comfortable. In the meantime, I'm going to take my meatloafs and put them in the oven at 12:04 p.m. every night. At least once a week.
But the thing is, though, Foster with the wood paneling there, I was trying to figure out how many bodies he got behind the walls.
Well, when I get you in there, PJ, there'll be one more.
if I would have guessed,
He probably got going to come visit him.
He probably got Bob Evelyn, Bob Parsons.
Oh man,
Bob Thomas. You probably got those old school Bears players behind them walls.
No, I know where. What's the guy's name that's buried that nobody knows where he went?
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, I got Jimmy Hoffa in the wall. I didn't want to tell you.
He's in the old Giant Stadium.
Cliff's defending himself here, guys. Cliff's defending himself.
The truth is, he's in a mud bog in Detroit. I'm serious.
My office is just loaded with furniture. Is Cliff's excuse?
Fuck you, Cliff.
I get it, Cliff. I didn't have my Bears flag behind me tonight. I just have shelves with books on them and pictures and urns.
Leo Factor. We talked about that.
So
He was.
About how jacked.
A bunch of stuff he stole laying around.
Mooney.
Oh, Mooney, yes. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, he is jacked.
Dude, Mooney is jacked.
But
I'm telling you, man.
You know the NFL is going to investigate that.
You know what it is? They photoshopped my body with his face, man. I'm telling you. That's my body that,
Or they photoshopped your face on his body.
What you talking about, Willis?
PJ, when you puff out your cheeks, I think they photoshopped your face as his body.
Oh. Somebody need to Photoshop your house.
No, someone needed demolition in his house.
Right.
No, what Retro goes, what did he say? He says, Retro says, what I just covered. Oh, Cliff. Mythbusters will reunite just so they can blow up Foster's trailer. Ever watch Mythbusters? Anybody ever see Mythbusters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to find out what's in here, really. PJ, you might be right.
You ever see Adam Savage's? You ever see Adam Savage's YouTube channel that he has? It's because that's over now. It's just as good. Just Google or YouTube Adam Savage. He's got excellent stuff on there, man. He made a lightsaber, like a real awesome lightsaber that I'm jealous of.
Dang. So
but yes,
Mooney
is ripped, guys.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
see,
it was all over Twitter, man. Big. That
did he work his
legs?
Did he work his legs though? Because some guys get to working that upper body and they never work their legs.
That's what I was wondering. Was he working too much on his upper body because his legs were healing?
Yeah,
his leg was healing, so he had to. He just went hard on the upper body.
Yeah,
if that's the case, he might lose some. When I saw that, I started thinking he might lose some speed because we saw
if you put on the right weight, you can actually get faster though.
Yeah. Remember one season, all of a sudden Nathan Vasher showed up looking like that.
Yeah. And
then he was slower.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as fast as Mooney to begin with, but Mooney relies on his speed.
Yeah.
I was first worried about it.
Return that missed field goal, 107 yards or something like that.
Oh, Hester?
No, Vasher did it too.
Yes. Vasher did do it.
And about the 30-yard line, he was like running with sandbags. Urlacher had to basically almost carry him in the end zone.
Yeah,
man, 100 yards is a long way to be running. Retro knows all about it. I think he can only make it about 30 yards there, Retro. You get the gas for air like.
Hey, look, Cliff's lanai is almost done and beautiful, and now it's on to the house. So he's going to have excuses for the next year to not be on the show.
I was just going to say it'll be the next. There'll be something else now. It's like, oh well, now I got to get the house done.
I thought Cliff already said his lanai was done.
He did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He did.
It's not done to his. It's not done to his anal retentive perfection to come on the show.
What happened was he heard my Kevlar comment, and he's waiting for the Kevlar to come down. He wants bulletproof lanai too, like they got in Canada with Matt.
Yeah.
Leo Factor saying Greg Gabriel says we should expect a new edge signing in the coming weeks before camp starts. He likes Ngaku because he's still 28.
Yeah, according to what Cole's been doing, he haven't signed no one over 20 out of their 20s yet in free agency. So I would expect somebody young like that. I agree with that.
I
like what else.
And right? He's more of a run guy, right? Ngaku.
No, he's more of a pass rusher.
More of a pass rusher, less of a run guy. That's his downfall.
He's not good against the run. That's what it is.
Right. That's what.
Not as good, I'll say.
Right. I like what else Leo Factor says here. Are you guys okay with Velus Jones being the kick returner again? Any fumble in the first 5 games, and he's done for me, returning kicks later on.
Now, I think you got to keep in mind, too, though, that he was better at the kick returner. I mean, he had his problems with the punt return. So I'm okay with kickoffs. Yep. I'm hoping if he still has some issues with the punt returning, that was it Travis Scott, the rookie wide receiver? Hopefully he can do that. That's what I'm hoping for.
I think that's the only reason Pettis is still on the team, because we don't know who's going to be the punt returner.
Right.
I mean, at this point in time,
and also,
that's very well said.
And I've been talking about this for 3 or 4 weeks, and I mentioned, I don't know if you guys remember, they've had Velus working on punt returns with the lefty punter and the right-footed punter for
I mentioned that
I don't
first.
know, like 2 weeks. And then he was saying that in these 40 days off, that's pretty much, besides learning the system, he's working on punt returning more than anything else.
Yeah, because I remember I mentioned that a while back. That's the punter they got from the Giants.
Yes.
Right.
A lefty punter.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because
And
he
I think-
struggled with the left-handed, left-footed punter.
I think
that's the only reason that guy's here. I mean, nobody complained about Gill last year. You never heard the guy's name mentioned. And that's a good thing when you don't hear the punter's name mentioned.
I think he got one punt blocked.
Yeah.
Who,
he
Gill?
did.
Yeah, Gill did. He got
He
one
did.
punt blocked. But I think also that Valus, I think I heard somewhere where the wide receiver coach is speaking very highly of him, saying that he's really grasped the offense now and he's doing well in practice.
Yeah. And I agree with Brian on this. Brian Gilmore in the chat says Velas will settle down. He was trying to do so much as a rookie to prove himself. And I believe that.
I believe that too. I was
trying and not just allowing things to happen as they naturally have for him throughout his career.
the kid
put issue, and when you force stuff, anything I've ever forced to happen in my life, I've had a problem with.
He put too high of an He put too high of an expectation on himself for his rookie season. You could tell that he expected more out of himself just from his post-draft interviews.
Right.
And how he spoke about how he felt being in college for a little bit longer, and coming out at the age of 25, he was more seasoned and ready to go in the NFL. And then, of course, the NFL is not as easy as anyone thinks, and so, I don't think that any one of us have a doubt that he is definitely going to make some contributions to this team that I think people are overlooking for sure.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Wasn't it a punt that Leo's talking about here? Talking about didn't Valus drop the kick return versus Washington, or was it a punt? It was a punt. Am I correct?
It was a punt, and it cost him the game.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a punt. Yeah, he didn't muff
I'm mixing games up, but I'm pretty sure, like you said, Peach. I don't think he had too many problems with the kickoff returns.
He didn't.
Multiple difficulties on punts. Multiple.
Wasn't he one of the leaders in kickoff return yardage?
I think
he was one of the leaders in the kickoff return.
I know this.
Top 10.
He led the team in yards per reception or something like that. Wait, maybe I'm mixing it up. He leads the Bears in a stat that kind of freaked me out when I saw it. Because if the guy was playing full time or something last year, he would have been our number one receiver.
Well, he probably had 2 receptions for like 100 yards.
Yeah, that's possible. It's something like that. I'd rather see the rookie jitters than the sophomore jinx, and I really am excited because I think he's going to be a major improvement for this team. He's going to be that fifth receiver that can be in there when we need it. He's going to pull the jet sweeps. He's going to be in there on certain downs when they're trying to run certain plays. And if they're double teaming DJ and a guy's on Mooney, and then, the 4 set wide receivers where they throw Velas in and they get him deep, some long scores. I would expect it out of the guy, man. We got youth, speed, and energy, man. Awesome. Get whole wide receiver, man. PJ, you keep saying it. We got one of the fastest wide receiver cores in the NFL.
Absolutely. I think with our running game and our fast receivers and our improved offensive line, I expect big things out of our offense. I do.
Yeah.
How big remains to be seen, but I would say I expect them to be top 20. That's big, really? Considering where we were. Where we were top 20. So, we was at 32 last year. So 30, I expect us to be top 20 this year coming up.
Yeah.
I'm just reading stuff over here. Actually, Khalil Herbert was ranked higher of a kickoff returner than Velus Jones.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, the Bears had 3 guys on there.
Yeah.
On that list. I'm not sure. Let's see. It's Ranker. It's called Ranker.com. So I'm not sure what the how reliable this is, but Khalil Herbert was 10th. Let's see. at least on their list. And there's 2 more Bears on this. Let's see here. Who's there? Kind of shocked me. The last one kind of shocked me.
Tristan Ebner.
Byron Pringle.
Did he return a kick last year?
It must have just been because he returned 1 kick, so his average was. Let me see. What do they even have to say about it?
Huh?
It doesn't have to. It doesn't say anything about their stats or anything. So it's probably a BS site. So I'm trying to find like Pro Football Reference or something if there's any numbers on there. There it is. Oh, that's career leaders.
So real quick, while you're looking for that, J2K said he was 3rd for yardage average in the NFL as a kick returner.
I don't have to. Thank you, J2K.
He being who?
Velus Jones.
Okay. Like I said.
Walter's saying Herbert only had 5 returns, but this with the site that I was looking at must have had him ranked on their average yards per return or some shit like that. I don't know. It didn't look like a very respectable site, but that's interesting that he actually. So there's things that I thought that they could have done with him in that offense last year with some quick hits, but then on the contrary, that was where Justin Fields himself admitted he was having. That was like one of the things he had to work on with his game. Right, so it's like the 2 and 2 kind of weren't going hand in hand. Cool. I think this year you see that.
Sorry, we were done.
Remember the play that they hit like 2 years ago with it was against the Packers, and it was where he just it was like just a quick hit, and it was
Grant, wasn't it?
Grant gone for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Was it Grant or was it that?
It was 2. 10? It was the other guy too. It was Grant and can't remember his name, but number 10. Yes.
Yeah, number 10.
They signed him from the Patriots that year.
Yeah.
And it was just like a boom, boom, right over the middle, gone.
Yeah.
That was what I envisioned out of Velus Jones.
The one that got a 2-point conversion against Seattle.
Yeah, I forgot it.
What's his
his
Bird?
last name?
Bird.
That's it.
Bird. Jameer Bird. Yes, thank you.
Bird.
Yeah, because remember the 2-point conversion to win the game at Seattle? They threw it in the back of the end zone. He caught it and the guy tried to push him out, and he got his both feet in bounds at the very end.
Yeah, because they had to look at that. They had to verify.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot about that till you reminded me.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw this in too, Dan, because Cliff's going, hey, did you see, Dan, did you notice that he finally sent the $50 for Chris?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either. I didn't look at it.
Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you,
everybody.
Cliff.
Let's do the 80s slow clap for Cliff.
I'm going to give him the golf clap.
What a nice guy.
Extremely excellent, Cliff. One of the
Thank
best.
You, Cliff.
Of the best.
To J2K's point, I think I think you're right.
Let's read that for the audio listeners. I don't think we draft Scott if coaches were sold on Velus. While I don't think he gets cut on a rookie contract, I do think he will never live up to anything more than a kick returner.
Now, I disagree with the second part, but the first part, yes, I think they wasn't totally sold on him, but I think he still has a chance. He still has a chance to turn the coach's way of thinking around. So I'm not convinced that he'll be nothing more than a kick returner. I think he still has a chance to be a decent receiver because not only he's fast, he also got some meat to him to where he can take those hits as opposed to getting hit one time and getting hurt like Scott might possibly do. So I'm worried when you're too small. So there's that.
I see what you're saying, J2K. I'm looking at it a different way a little bit here. I understand they're probably not 100% sold on Velus. How many guys are they 100% sold on, realistically? Right. But look at this. Poles is preparing as if Fields is the guy. He's going to get it. He's got to get that big contract money, like you mentioned earlier. And we've got 2 wide receivers coming up for big contracts possibly at the end of the season, Claypool and Mooney. If there's a big enough problem, Scott is your Mooney and Velas becomes your Claypool.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you.
I'm like, you cover all the bases, man. Because what if they're all busts? He'll have the next guys. He'll have the next guys right in here in line. Cover all the bases, man. I really like this. We were talking about this early, Dan. You weren't here. We were talking about the depth that we might possibly have at safety. There's 2 or 3 guys waiting to take Eddie Jackson's job, possibly. And the cost is going to, like we talked about, and J2K mentioned, that big contract we're going to have to pay out here to Fields if he's the guy, which I believe he is. And Poles does, or he wouldn't be making some of the moves he's making. You wouldn't hear the statements that he's preparing the salary. We've got all this salary cap for a reason because he knows he's going to have to get Fields that contract to keep him in Chicago so this team can win for the next 7, 8, 10 years if we're lucky. My thought on it.
Everything that you just said is exactly what I was going to say.
Okay, liar.
Because no, I'm serious.
I'm joking, dude.
The Mooney injury, the Mooney injury could be an issue because it's a leg thing. Claypool, we've already heard rumblings about that. What's going on with that? So it could be an insurance policy for either, or it could be Velas as well. Who knows? They might. The contract thing also comes into play with Justin Fields. So, and potentially other players too. You got Kmet.
Well,
I hope
we have to keep in mind too, though, that to date, Poles has not re-signed one of our own players yet.
Yep.
So I don't know what he's expecting or what he's actually looking for in order to consider re-signing, what it takes for him to re-sign one of our players. But as of yet, he hasn't done it.
I'll say one thing to that and shut up. There's no Poles guys to re-sign yet of his own guys. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that.
Well said. It's like Marcellus.
He's just dropping the microphone there.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Exactly. No shit.
Yeah.
It's like Dan's going, wow, Foster's actually saying something smart tonight. What the hell's going on?
I'm also multitasking. I'm trying to download something.
I'm messing around. Look at you. Looks all red now. Are you sunburn or windburn?
Sunburn. That's sunburn. I'm tan. This is how I tan. I'm so freaking pasty and white that I'm like a Viking. I have like Viking blood.
If I can address this real quick, fellas. Leo Factor says they said that Poles offered Monty the same money that the Lions did, and Monty chose Detroit. Who is they? I mean, where is that source? I'm curious to know where that came from. If you can expound upon that.
They did say that Poles offered money. I don't know. That's a good.
I have heard that, and I read that somewhere too.
I think I heard that as well.
And then the other comment was that Monty said, and I don't know what's the truth because we're not standing there listening to these guys. And then that Monty came back. He was tired of playing behind a unacceptable offensive line.
I did hear that,
but we don't know what the truth is because it's just stuff we heard.
Well,
I didn't see an interview with him saying this. I didn't see anybody interviewing Poles saying, "Hey, man, did we offer as much?" But I've heard all this. So I go back to this. My poppy told me, don't believe too much of what you hear and about a half of what you actually see because your eyes can deceive you too.
He said that.
He was right.
Phil Toshin said it from TTNL.
Yeah.
Again, I find that shocking. I mean, I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm not saying Phil's lying. I just find it shocking that he would actually do that. I mean, you would actually take the same amount of money from Detroit as opposed to the Bears and go to Detroit?
Maybe he went and met with the coaches and he was like, I love what Dan Campbell's laying down here. And he's a guy I want to bite some kneecaps off and run through a wall for. And he decided he wanted to play for him. Then they Oh well, let's get everyone. Okay, we're gonna do the hits principle kind of coach. You know,
that's
Like
surprising.
what he said about the time, like he mentioned about running behind a mediocre line. I did hear that before too, so that could have been a factor right there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. We'll never know all the factors, man, involved. We won't, unless
Well,
he
Kid-
specifically sits there and states it. So
Kids even co-signs what Leo says that specifically from Draft Dr. Phil. He says that he texted Monty and he said that he chose to go to Detroit. Wow, that's the first time I'm hearing this, so I'm really surprised. It's like, wow, okay, that's crazy to me. I mean, I guess I would never imagine a player being offered the same amount of money would choose Detroit over us. I just, wow, that's all I can say. Wow.
strange things happen everywhere and every day.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. I mean, again, I'm not doubting Kids or Leo. I believe you guys to be honest people. So yeah, I take you at your word. But wow, I'm shocked.
Me too. This was funny. After I showed the house, Cliff said he should have sent the $50 to me. I need it more.
That's not gonna do. That's not gonna be enough meth for him to finish that house, Cliff.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Give me 2 or 3 more weeks. You guys are gonna freak. I'll show you in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not gonna show you the house again till August.
Didn't he say that? Didn't he say that like 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, but I did say that. But I also lost 5-6 days in a row of work, and then the back injury, and then people getting sick. Some smoke factors, some stuff burning, a car or two blowing up. Things happen.
Wow.
Don't forget you had to have the house bug bombed.
I had to have the house bombed. I had to lose a whole day and spend $350 for one damn key to be made.
Right.
So
it was made out of titanium.
Absolutely, I got it right here.
It took him forever to cut the damn thing.
I know Sellers have to go. He got something else he has to do. So, but before you leave, man, what you want to share with us before you leave, man?
I'm really looking forward to this preseason to see how much we improved, and I'm really looking forward to just the start of the season.
Oh, I'm sorry, what's that?
I'm really looking forward to eating some more lemon cake. Now, since you want to play around, yeah.
You said lemon cake?
Yeah.
Send me a piece.
I'll think about it.
You weren't here. You were supposed to share that cake with all of us. I told him he needed 70 pieces, and he didn't come through.
Right.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about that time for us to start talking about food anyway. So yeah, that lemon cake. Who made that lemon cake anyway, sir?
It's called Nothing But Cakes.
Okay, got you. Nothing.
Have you guys ever heard of that?
Nothing bunt cakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing but cakes. It's
pretty good, huh?
Yes.
We're gonna wrap this show up here in a minute. Anyway, I've been trying to download something to end the show with, and it's too fucking large, so I keep having to like try to reduce it, and I want to end the show with it, but we're gonna wrap this up soon. Anyway, go ahead, Marcellus.
No, I was just I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bears going to do, and one thing about the season, when it starts, that means I go back to work. So I'm kind of like wishing the season a little longer before we go back to work.
Are you a teacher?
Teacher's assistant, actually. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
my friends are teachers too.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting year. I think we're going to be either 11-6 or 10-7.
I love it. We're
going to surprise people.
There's only one.
Oh yeah, we're with you, man. What did we come up with? 11-6 as a team on the show.
Yeah,
that's our.
We
went through every game too, so.
Here we have it here. So where is it at?
Oh crap.
Right here. Oops. There we go.
Yeah.
Take that thing off, somebody.
Okay.
I don't even know where it's at.
I got it. So we have a winning streak of 4 games there, and then we have 4 out of 5 are losses.
But you know what? I think
Actually, 6 out of
that
5
at
are
Vikings
losses.
we might be able to get.
Not 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
We
Aldo
know
said
we
the
play
same
Vikings
thing, man, but he was
decent at
drunk.
Minnesota.
Aldo said the same thing, so but he was drunk. You don't have that excuse.
But see,
I'm joking around, dude.
like I even said at the time, I think after
Wait.
a 10-day break, we played the Lions on that after the Panthers, and we're playing them at home. I think we can probably get the Lions on that one.
Oh, the one at home.
Yeah.
Aldo said that too.
Because we got wait. According to this, y'all don't have it at Lions or at Lions. It's just either one.
Well, I'm just thinking.
Which one is the home one?
The second one's away,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
We got 3 aways in a row.
Shorty.
What's that?
PJ, you just said they have the break after the Panthers?
Yeah.
So it's the first one that's, I think, is at Lions, right?
You should have put the break in there.
Gotta fix that,
Yeah.
dude.
You're right. I do.
I can't remember the schedule. I can't remember it out of the top of my head.
But I mean, we did it collectively. So if 3 out of 4 of us thought it was a win, it was a win.
Yeah, but I was one who thought we was actually going to win that game against the Lions.
Yeah, but it was 1 out
Well,
of 4.
gentlemen, it's been fun. I really appreciate you guys inviting me in, and it's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. You guys have a great night.
Stay safe, fellas. Good to see you, man.
So,
good to see you, bro.
So, thank you so much for coming on tonight, and we appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on. It's always a pleasure having you on. You're welcome anytime, my friend.
Man, all right, I appreciate
I
it.
I need to have you. I need to put you out with the. I need to have your exit with the.
You know BCP. You know what BCP. Mm-hmm. You know what BCP.
Wait, let's get your say it like ready. 1, 2, 3. Say it like you're singing it. 1, 2, 3.
BCP. You know what BCP.
Perfect. So, pleasure having you on, my friend.
All right, guys.
Have a good night. Oh, I think I got it downloaded. I think we can end the show. Hopefully I can get this uploaded because this would be pretty cool to end the show with.
All right.
Here we go. I think I got it. Let's see. This should work this time. Oops. Let's see. Oh, it's uploading. Yes. It only took me like 25 minutes to do that. You're muted, Foster.
Dang.
You're muted, Tooch. We're just start calling you Tooch. You're muted, Tooch. Cliff says you guys are missing your 5-hour window.
Man.
Cliff.
Well, I think it is about time to close this one out. I actually got a situation I have to deal with anyway.
It is time to close it out. Can you wait for the upload?
Yes.
Can we wait like 45 seconds for this to upload? I just wasted 20 minutes doing this. It's important.
Yes.
Not if he's in a hurry. He's got to go. He could see it.
If you're in a hurry, you can go.
No. You're fine.
It's a grand finale.
Uh-oh.
It's in honor of Independence Day.
Fireworks.
You want to see some fireworks? You saw some fireworks, right? PJ or Foster, you missed them. You missed them because you were trying to break up a riot and got your back broken.
When I was laying on the ground, I was looking up. I saw him perfectly fine. No, and I agree with you, Doug. Hopefully you're right, dude. There's only despair if you're a Lions fan, and that is it. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Lions fans, though, is that they're starting to get cocky now because they think that, I mean, let's look at it. Goff had a good season last year. Interception. We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
interception to touchdown ratio wise was like Matt Ryan's MVP year. So, and they won a shitload of games at the end there. They beat us both times, I think. They kicked our fucking ass the second time.
Yeah.
So, it's almost uploaded. It's almost uploaded.
Wow. This is getting
This is
having
getting to
a-
be it.
an
We're almost at the end of the show, guys.
man.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Dun 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 dun
This one, man.
dun dun
Processing.
dun dun.
Processing. I am kind of worried about Mooney's rippedness, to be honest.
In what sense?
Could slow his speed down. Could be, and he hasn't. His leg injury was so significant that he couldn't work on the legs, so we worked so hard on the upper body. If he loses speed, that's going to be detrimental to. That was one of my worries about the leg injury. If he loses speed because of the leg injury, it's going to affect his game. His game is on speed.
Yeah.
So
he can't afford to lose speed, man.
I'm not so worried. I think he's not going to lose any speed. Even with this weight gain, I think it's muscle, so it probably make him faster.
Okay.
I'm not that worried about it. I'm really not either. I'm with Peach on this.
All right.
If he's working the right things and he gets back to his legs and he gains muscle that helps him in every respect, you can't go wrong almost. I see what you're saying. There's a line that if he goes over that line, that could slow him down a 16th of a second or whatever, and that's what we don't want. We don't want him to be any slower. If he can maintain what he had or improve on it, man, then this guy's
that'd be great because then he's beefed up and he can take the hits.
He's tougher. If he's tougher and faster than he was that season 2 years ago, look out. Just look out. And I'll say this now because I'm leaning more towards Claypool, but they both got to show us something to be who's going to be re-signed. If he's in that good a shape and he's picked up a step or split second and he can take harder hits and get through guys better, which he shouldn't have to if he's got the speed.
We're great.
He might be the guy. I mean,
all right, let's wrap this shit up.
Okay.
Paul Clark says, "Great show, guys. Love the show. I'm the Chicago Bears. Bear down, y'all. Hit that like button. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody in chat. Mo Bierman, Doug Van Doren, Retro, Mr. Mahan, Cliff Victoria, of course, Walter Besky. It goes on and on. Leo Factor, J2K. James Ford was in here earlier.
Mr. Mayhem.
Mo Bierman. Mr. Mayhem.
Retro.
Thank you all so much. Brian Gilmore, thank you for joining us again tonight. It's without you guys, this does not work. And so we're going to end this with this this Independence Week show with a little fireworks special. Enjoy, guys. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Wow.